You know what I should probably do? There we go. All right. Yeah, I can't play drums. All right, let's see here. What do we got going on? Oh, you know I should probably do. What is this? Oh. That's freaking so crazy. Microsoft 365 Copilot. Let me see what we're gonna do here. Yeah. All right, where are we at? Where are we at? Got everybody on both sides. All right, let's see. Phil first going. We got you guys going. All right, everybody, 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 everybody. Candy green. Copy, copy. Whoa. Oops. Pin. There we go. Okay. Yep, that's what I was thinking. What up, Mints? Okay, let's see here. Let me see. What up, BMX? Welcome back, brother. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So let's get ourselves going here. It's like, yeah? What you got to say about it? All right. Huh, that even work? I don't think that'll even work. About a decade later. Okay, let's get ourselves set up. Let's get rid of Copilot. Hey, there we go. Look at just join the freaking Discord. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I feel first. Can we get a manager mod? No, what are you, crazy? Are you even on the Discord? Yeah, you got to be on Discord to even consider moderation. You got to be here for every day for a week. Monitor manager. Are you freaking nuts? What are you, nuts? I guess it was worth a try to ask. I'm getting the stream set up. I'm a little slow to get started. I was expecting lunch to take longer, but it didn't. So, but yeah, yeah, you got to be on the Discord to get moderation at all. What are you, nuts? All right, let's see if we can get rid of. There we go. Okay, uninstall. Settings, apps, installed apps. Oops. Oops. Copilot. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Composite blur. Privacy settings. Lighter. Ouch. All right, what are we going to do today? Let's see. Hi, for more permanent use, yada, yada, yada. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. If this will work, we'll try to switch or see if I can switch cameras here. Background, outline, photos. These can go away too. Source clone. Yeah, that can go away too. Vertical. Ugh, oh yeah, that's crap. Okay, my bad. My bad. What? 623. That's completely off. Let's see. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, where are we going here? How you guys doing today, huh? What you guys up to? What up, fish sticks? Freaking wackadoodle. How you doing, brethren? How you doing? Boom, 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 boom. I used to call my toilet the gym, and then I would tell everybody, "Yeah, I go to the gym every morning, cooking breakfast." Where are you at? What time? Where? It's 1:30 in the afternoon here in Georgia. Where are you at, fish stick? Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a great idea. I go to the gym every morning. I go to the gym 3 times a day. Moving weight. It's noon, just woke up. Hey, all right. Happens to the best of us. Hey, I got no problems with that. As long as you get done what you need to get done. Let's take our vitamin. San Antone. Gotcha. San Antone. I've never been to Texas. Remember the Alamo. I tell you what, the thing I remember the most about the Alamo is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Mm-hmm. Best history of the Alamo movie ever made. They said it was in the basement of the Alamo. The Alamo ain't got no basement. You love that movie? It's a good one. All right, let's see if we can add something here. Try it. There you go. Most useless invention. The internet. Just kidding. That's pretty useful. Pretty useful. Let's see. San Antone. Not Panatone. San Antone. Dude. What a freaking. There you go. There you go. Have you ever played? Yes, yeah, dude. It sucks. Look, dude. I suck so bad at. Look. Let me tell you something about myself. I'm a pretty bright guy. My teeth are bleeding. Just kidding. It's freaking B12. I get lost in my own towns. I have a horrible sense of direction. I have a horrible sense of my. I'm a good mind sense of my environment, what's going on. But like sun setting in the east and rising in the west and all that, I got no idea. I know where my weaknesses lie. 100% know where my weaknesses lie, and I am so freaking bad at. I tried to watch a couple streams where I can't remember the guy's name right now, like the all hail the Lord of GeoGuessr guy. I can't remember his name, but dude, he clicks up and I'm like, California, and it's like South Africa, and he's like, oh, and like the street signs in a different language, and I just don't. Yeah, I got no skills with that. But this is the thing. Rainbolt, right? Yeah, I would rather put a team together and have him rather than trying to be him. And I think this is a mistake a lot of people make. A lot of people are like, we're in this world alone. No. You put a team together, and it's like you can find, like, you don't have to waste your brain power on things that you're no good at. I suck at algebra. I failed Algebra 1 in college. I didn't even pass it in high school. I had to take it in college. I failed it. I only took one semester in college. Anyway, so I know if I have something that involves math like that, I'm going to get someone that can do that. I'm not going to freaking try to sit back and, no. People have, I believe, God-given talents. Like, he's good. And I'm not at that. I'm good at a lot of other stuff. And but knowing where my weaknesses are and sharpening sharpening my sword for the battles that I want to take on. But yeah, no. I would do it. I would absolutely do it. It would be embarrassing. I mean, it wouldn't be embarrassing. I'd lose. I know I'd lose. But I would do it to show off other people's skills. Like if you're good at geoguessing, we could do a live stream. You can jump on and whoop me 9 times out of 9. No problem. I got no problem losing. I got no problem at all. Because to me, that's like, I want this guy on my team. Rather than, you know what I'm saying? That's how I think about things. Rather than, I'm so embarrassed he beat me. No, hire that guy. You know what I mean? People look at things different way. Sup, nerds? What up, Yellow Bob? Yellow Bob. What's going on, brethren? But yeah, this is the one thing I love about live streaming and stuff like that, is you get to meet so many people that are so good at so many things. And like, this is one thing I don't like about the whole Republican Democrat divide, is that if I want to create a team, a company of people that they're best at what they're best at, and some people are like, oh, they're a liberal or they're a freaking conservative. I don't care. I'm good at some things and they're good at some things. I need to create a team that's going to win, because this whole divide will come and go. Vacuum cleaner is the worst invention. Dude, okay, so if you want to actually talk about that, James. Oh, it's Yogi. There you go. Changing names up. How are you, my brethren? Hide your picnic baskets. What's up, Otto? So let me tell you something about vacuum cleaners. They Gravity is a thing to keep things that we shouldn't be breathing in lower to the earth. Whether you want to say that's the reason for it or not, vacuums create more allergies, even though they say that some vacuums will help reduce allergens. Reduce them from what other vacuums put up. Right. Having carpets is one of the bad worst things you can do. Like you're talking about microplastics now. Every time you vacuum, you're blowing all those little, because that's what rugs are typically, are they're plastic. And so it puts billions and billions and billions of those things up. So I agree. Not a vacuum rant. What up, Skippy? Yogi on his vacuums suck. Xbox Game Pass. I agree too, and I'm not even that big of a gamer, and I know from people I talk to, it's absolutely dumb. Dude, listen, back in the day, the Atari, not the Atari, the Sega Master System, I think it was. You could take your cable television cable and you could screw it into a cartridge that went into your Sega Master System, and you could download games from them. I think it was $5 a month, and you got every single game they made. This is the stuff that when it was great. I got a vacuum cleaner, but it's just at home picking up dust. What up, Lamb? So dumb we have to pay $30 a month. No, it's stupid. Listen, it's the same thing, and it's the same thing. We'll give you what you want. We'll give you what we want you to have and charge you for it. So it's like you should be able to add to your library anything that you've paid for, but if they can convince you to pay it over and over again, I think a lot of that's about to fail. I think Adobe has just ruined it for a lot of people. They had what was basically their version of like Adobe Animator, which was what was keeping Flash animation still alive, and a lot of people still use it. And they were just saying, "Hey, it's going to be gone in a month. I don't care." People have paid $600 a year for 20 years, and now they're saying, "No, no, no, it's just gone." And they're gonna be like, "Wait, why can't I just buy it? Oh, it's not a product; it's only a subscription." So they control you. They control you. Yeah. I got a vacuum cleaner, but it sucks. What up, Glory to CCP? Purchasing isn't owning, the private isn't stealing. Agreed. 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 Was that smoke detector? No, no, no. That was my Lamb just hit me up on WhatsApp, and it was a WhatsApp notification. The Corporation Act of 1871. That was a pretty useless invention. For the people, it's useless too. Yeah. How you doing, Lamb? Let me see what you sent here, my brethren. Oh, the video. Oh, the Sega Master System. Hey, there you go. There it is. Yeah. The Pet Rock. Yeah. Pet Rock, and no, it absolutely. And this is this is one of the things that's so interesting. The Pet Rock. They didn't even paint it. You can paint it. You can make it your own. It's the same thing, and it's that idea, that thought process, that ideology that's still in there, where you can get your character in a video game and you can buy decorations for the character. That's right, T Ferg. Right, people are dumb, and the best thing you can do in business is to convince dumb people that they have outsider or insider knowledge. Like all these people that have college degrees but don't know anything, they'll like only smart people are voting for this person or that person. Like, oh, then that's what I'm doing because I'm a smart person. Look, I have a degree, but you haven't learned anything since graduation. Yeah, I agree. Did you get around to researching that? No, I didn't. I did not. Sorry, I was very, very busy, ZPM. I have not. Let's look that up real quick. I even wrote that down. I copied it and pasted it. That's why I didn't write it down close enough. Okay, let's see. The Khazars were a semi-nomadic Turkic people who were established powerful commercial empire between the Black and Caspian Seas from the 6th to the 10th century CE, known for adopting Judaism in the 8th, 9th century under King Bulan. They controlled the trade routes before their decline. The state ultimately collapsed in the 10th and 11th century, likely due to pressures from the Rus and other groups, leading to assimilation. Powerful people. While the Khazar hypothesis suggests Ashkenazi Jews descended from them, scientific studies found no scientific studies. No substantive evidence supporting this, generally dismissing the historical theory, sometimes using anti-Semitic tropes. You know the lore? Most useful, the wheel. I agree. Listen, the wheel, absolutely. Lathes, drills, drill motors, everything we create has to do with spinning wheels, is somewhere in the process. The whole addiction thing, yeah. Easier to do with drugs. Aren't you? Yeah, we're all people. We're all dumb. Listen, and you have to understand that you're stupid, that you know nothing. And then try to counteract it. It's the people that don't know they're dumb, that think that they're smart, especially because they paid for a degree. Get that degree without paying for it. Do what's required to get those degrees without being paid for it, without people telling you the quickest ways to pass the tests and to cheat and to it's easier to do with drugs like the whole addiction. Okay, we're back. What up, Robert? Parents are happy. Oh yeah, all good. No longer hungry. Parents are happy. That's right. To be honest, guys, you did not own your game since old consoles like PS2, since games got multiplayer. Right, online access. Right, yeah, no, and they blurred the lines and they smoothed it in. Netflix is where it all started. When Netflix started renting you games, renting you. This was called renting. And then when they went to all digital downloads, that like you didn't even have the disc in your hand, they convinced you that you didn't need to have it in your hand to own it. Then you would buy stuff, but we'll hold it on our servers, but we'll delete it from our servers, and then you won't own it. Since games got multiplayer online access, this was just a verification disc, right? I haven't owned a game since Xbox 360 days. So we go down the rabbit hole together. And the new system is pretty smart. Platforms like Steam and Xbox are not going down anytime soon, so you still have them ownerships to your names, just digital. I agree. You will own nothing and be happy. That's true. Lamb, that's true. And he says, exactly, Lamb, physical media is essential. Listen, everything that they try to subscribe you to, you have to understand. Even Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, you can never put that in your pocket and say, screw you guys, I'm going home. You're always going to be part of, but it's decentralized. Yeah, huh? No one got my Kid Rock gag. No, I didn't catch it. I didn't even see it. It didn't even show up. I don't even see it on there. Most games are online service games, meaning a lot of games now don't have offline mode. I agree. You will eat bugs and you'll be happy. That's true too. And a lot of people don't even realize you are eating bugs. A lot of people that are on low carb diets, they eat carb-free pastas. That pasta is made from crickets. The flour is called cricket flour, but that's not what they call it on the cricket-based low-carb pasta flour. No, it didn't hear me. Cricket-based low-carb pasta flour. Cricket-based pasta, often a blend of 10 to 20% cricket powder with legume or wheat flour, often high protein, low carb alternative to traditional pasta. Look how it sells it. Rich in iron, B12, omega fatty acids, provides a nutty flavor and significant boost in nutritional value while being sustaining and often gluten-free. Great. You're eating crickets. Reality viewing shit, you owe money to the government, you can legally come and take your shit. That's right, the government can come take it, right. One day closer to the rapture, Jesus is king, that's correct. You mean Redbox. Sorry, yes, Redbox. Then right, Redbox. Then it was Netflix that did the all. I think Redbox did the all online thing too. Like you could go there and download it. Like you could get a QR code too. Right. But after Redbox, yes, yes, and I think that's why Netflix Redbox. I'll use the old red logo as because I'm pretty sure Netflix bought Redbox out also and tried to buy Blockbuster out. Technically, when you buy digital media, you're only buying the license to use the game. That's correct, and they don't teach kids and about what licensing is. So like this is so big part of the entertainment, but people get into things without knowing what they're getting into, and they, then they say, hey, well, why can't I get this and that? That's dumb. But they've already got your money. They don't care. My old vinyl wall art's in my house. Your old vinyl is wall art. Oh, your old vinyl is wall art in your house. Gotcha. Knife mobiles, knife mobiles, knife mobiles. I gotta look this up. Hold on. I don't think no. I understand Bitcoin very, very, very well. I understand it very well. I solder and repair Bitcoin miner machines. I absolutely I understand the algorithm, the mining algorithms. I understand the trading. I understand the ownership. I understand a lot about Bitcoin. The point is, you don't own it. You can't buy a Bitcoin, own that Bitcoin right out, and say, I want to keep it. You always got to trade out the value. The value, it's dependent. I don't think everybody wants to talk about it, but if we want to do a Bitcoin stream, let's do a Bitcoin stream one day. We can absolutely. I know a lot about Bitcoin. I started in Bitcoin cleaning Bitcoin machines, going and disassembling them and cleaning them out to keep the efficiencies up. I learned a whole lot about Bitcoin machines. I know people that spend tens of millions of dollars moving containers that I helped build to the Arctic Circle. And yeah, most people don't understand Bitcoin at all. Have you heard of Tartarian? The Tartarians, yes. The lamb version of Rock thing is the most useless as paper cash. It's another thing of moving. So there's more value in the market than there is representative gold. So if you talk about what has been on the planet for forever as money was gold and silver, precious metals. And then you wanted to say, well, we don't have enough of this. We've only got $400 billion in gold, and we need much more of that for our economy. So let's say, we have to move the dollar away from gold. And then other currencies move away from the dollar because you need more. I need to be able to sell this guy something, and he doesn't have enough money because there's no more gold, there's no more dollars. So what do we do? And that is inflation. So, but Rip Tartaria. Paper cash is just an IOU. That's correct. Fish stick, did we just become best friends? Do you know the Carmen Opera? Paper cash is a lot more. Paper cash has lots of uses, even though if it's used against you. Yes, absolutely. Listen, paper cash is still better than any representative cash currency. Like digital currencies, they can just make more. Paper, they can print more, but at least you have it. You can stack it up. And regardless of what you may think about it on a cursory level, it's important to be able to have, if you get your Bitcoin wallets disabled, you don't have access to that anymore. And that happened to people during Trump. So now, yes, he eventually got this stuff back, and he had to create his own when he became president in order to be able to hold wealth at other places. Because if the American government said, no, you're a traitor, no, all of your assets are seized, it's a problem. Paper cash is just processed tree. Most users mentioned the pet rock. Somebody mentioned that earlier. Redbox Redbox is simply Red Track. Most users mentioned would be a chocolate kettle. That would be pretty useless. Knife mobiles. Let me look at that up. Knife mobiles? I don't know if we're talking about Oh, you're talking about in the UK to collect knives off the streets. Bitcoin stream would be great. Okay, well, yeah, we can absolutely do it, Profac. Absolutely. Ashtray on a Harley. Yeah, that would be pretty worthless. Cryptocurrency is coming to an end soon. When you enter the Okay, so this is let me. We really need to get to this, especially with the new information that come out. Yeah, I don't want to get on one topic, but yes, let's do a cryptocurrency. Let's go a crypto stream. We'll do it. What's tomorrow? Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, yeah, we can do one tomorrow around 1 o'clock. Let's say. Let me put that on. Schedule it. Okay, show notes. 2/12, February 12th, 2026. Crypto topic. Crypto. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So many people apparently believe the turn signal on their steering column is the most useless invention. What's up, Tommy? What up, Stiller? Still here. I prefer gold coins, pirates, treasury. Listen, I do too. Andy, they have been saying that since crypto was born. Yes, they have. So here's a big thing that came out recently. It's looking like the Epstein files contain some information that before Bitcoin became a thing, Epstein went to Congress to talk about let's make crypto a thing, Bitcoin a thing. So they're saying that I can't remember his name, Satoshi I can't remember the inventor of Bitcoin, that nobody knew who he was. It looks like it was part of that whole team. They wanted to make more money than was available in gold. So they said, hey, let's make value. How can we make value? Well, we'll use computers to make value. Okay, let's figure it out. Okay, man. So basically what it looks like, what they were trying to do is they need something with value, power, electricity, coal. How can we convert that? Just like we converted gold into dollars, they converted the power you burn into a value. Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies that are mined, they burn your power. Just like when you mine gold or mine coal, you're paying people to dig into the ground to use their energy. So they made this a representation. So if you can get free power, like if you can run your Bitcoin miners and stuff like that off of solar or other power that you don't have to pay for, you can get more money than exists currently in those markets, like the gold or silver or platinum market. Guys, does it feel like TMZ know the person? Hold on. TWC says, guys, does it feel like TMZ know the person or someone at the time doing stuff? They got Bitcoin account, looking at the account, reading notes at Fox. Seems like TMZ might be doing this. Absolutely. Most stuff you hear online, especially for these big entertainment outlets, have the story before it breaks. And they have a bunch of stuff to get out there. They're not expert researchers. It's been delivered to them. BMW drivers. What's up, Tamid? I just ate a big red candle. That'll help you out. ProFact, mark my words. If you want to invest in something you have physical value. Crypto can crash. I agree. Crypto can crash as soon as they don't want the market anymore. I can agree with that also. Listen, and there are companies that hold such large crypto stock portfolios, and they can cash it out. They can still rug pull at any time. Absolutely. It's not as decentralized as just because it started decentralized, the people with the most money and resources were able to stockpile the most Bitcoin. They can flood the market with it and drop the value. They could still rug pull at any time. And you see Haktua, people like that do it on a small scale. Like, look at this. Hold on. How much Bitcoin does JP Morgan Chase hold? Okay. Okay. Bitcoin. So they have ETF shares. They have IBITs. They have 200 million in derivatives. 343 million in BT ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs, and this is just JP Morgan Chase. Okay. How much Bitcoin does BlackRock hold? BlackRock has 802,000 Bitcoin. If they sold it all today, they would get $70,000, whatever it's currently at now per Bitcoin, and it would drop Bitcoin to the $1,000 mark. This is the problem with actual gold. You've got to move it. You've got to move it. You've got to move it. Did it burn your throat? No, you're not saying anything that hasn't been said. Right. No, it's been said. Right. Absolutely. The thing is, they hold the pin to the grenade. When something new comes along, they can do it. They could absolutely do it. $97 billion in Bitcoin in October 2025. Right. So this is why they tried to switch, and they tried to buy during the last 4 years. They tried to buy every piece of real estate they could. They tried to change it. They tried to offload their Bitcoin value into real estate. Real meaning it's physical. You can touch it. So that was why they wanted to buy everybody's house and then rent it back to you. So then you could be in your house for 50 years, but you still $1,000 a month. So then it keeps coming because Bitcoin fluctuates a lot, and that appears to be the plan. But right, it does make sense. What up, Jen? Satoshi Nakamura, right? Nakamoto. Sorry, yeah, Satoshi. Yeah. Paul has been trying to get you into invest in crypto, but I think I'm too late to that party. It's perfect. Yeah, listen. If you don't invest unless you're willing to lose it, I think it's a great time to get in because it's low. It may go high, but when the game is over, they will pull the plug. When it's no longer valuable to them, they'll get rid of it. They're not holding this Bitcoin because it's gold. They're holding it because it's currently valuable. If insider information comes out, if some big, we can talk about it tomorrow. Definitely not the perfect food in me. What up, Zen? Chip there's on sale, rug pulled. I'm starting to buy $100 worth of silver each month. That's a good idea. No, so silver hasn't got nowhere near the peaking. So we can talk about that. If we want to talk about investments now, we can talk about investments now. It's a good question. Land predictions say it still hasn't peaked at all. Right. Predictions also say it is peaked. Predictions for the most part mean nothing. Right. This is what you have to do. Make your own predictions. This is my prediction. We have so many companies starting up in America that the buildings aren't even done being built yet. So they're going to make a lot of technology. A lot of silver and gold is going to be needed for the technology end. You're going to need it for the AI chips, the RAM chips. Remember, RAM's expensive as hell because there's not a lot of them. I think they're doing this on purpose. So when they create all of this American-made RAM, it'll flood the market and then it'll bring the price down. And the people that bring that to market will make a lot of money. They need silver and gold to do that. They haven't even bought the raw silver and gold to make the chemicals, to make the solutions that deposit the gold and silver. And that's just silicon chips. Also, there's solar panels that are using silver now. And so SpaceX just cleared with the FAA to launch 1 million, I understand 1 million, whatever, but that's what the contract says, to launch 1 million satellites into space. Those solar panels in outer space that use silver, that are silver-based, keep more energy than the sun. They're more efficient. Whether it all fails or not doesn't matter. They're still going to be made, and they're still going to use the silver. The silver is going to be in outer space, not on Earth, to be able to be melted down and be used again. So we're going to move a lot of our wealth into outer space. That's not going to be able to be melted down and be used again. So that is all. That hasn't even started yet. The support companies that are going to make the gallons of silver halide or silver nitrate or whatever hasn't even started. And that when they start buying their stocks, I believe we will have a peak. Now I gotta move that earworm. Thanks for that. What up, Ben? With the AI innovation, electric car batteries, and so on. Okay. Also, okay. AI innovation, electric cars, all the values of silver. Right. This is what I'm talking about. Do your own predictions. If someone is giving you a prediction, it's there to benefit them. Me too. I've got stock in silver. If you buy more silver with my prediction, but I'm not asking you to use the 110th grade silver investing app. I just have investments there. This is my theory, and this is why this is the reasons behind my theory. My prediction to raise the values. All right. So also like the new silver, the new sodium ion batteries, not the lithium, sodiums that are coming out are more efficient, and regardless if electric cars fall off, they're still going to create hundreds of millions of them around the world, and they'll need silver. AI hardware, huge. Yes, that's right. That's right. Right. When Richard is saying right now, it's okay. There you go. Andy, I'm not saying it was wrong. It just takes practice to be right. This is what I say about everything, about religion, about politics, about everything. Don't just listen to somebody because they're wearing a suit and they've got cool glasses and got a blue shirt on the internet. Look it up. It only takes 10 minutes. And then if you really get interested in it, you'll be in it for an hour. It can make the difference between how you and your family do in the next 10 years. There's no need to listen to the news that have been wrong about all of their predictions. Kamala's going to be president. Didn't work. How many people said that? The top of the top news people, all of the political predictors, they said that tariffs were going to crash the economy, and I kind of agreed with them in the beginning. Now I say nope, they were 100% wrong. The economy's absolutely booming. 401ks are up. Everything's going great. So they were wrong. So also a thing is everything is marketing. The people on the news that want the silver will tell you that silver is going to crash. So then you'll be like, oh, let me sell my silver so I can get much. Now there's all this silver available for less. Now they'll be like, and all they had to do is say, it looks like silver's peaked. That's it. And so many people just freak out and buy it. And it's so easy because people are so easily influenced. They don't give you the information. If they give you evidence why they think silver is peaked, they don't give you the counter arguments on why it might not have been. This is how you know they're being deceptive. Everybody can see the AI is taking over like crazy after right. Okay, all right. Just look at the RAM prices. Watch it. Right. Let's talk about that real quick. Even if AI crashes, they're still going to have bought billions and billions of dollars worth of gold and silver to try to make it successful. And they're going to make all of these products. The silver and gold has already gone into these products. Even if it crashes, now they have to rip them out of the racks, take it all out, and melt everything back down and start over. And then that will cause a fall. But the thing, the marketing behind the push for AI is so high, regardless of what you think it's going to do. They are going to invest in trying to make it happen. The higher the price of silver becomes, the more incentive there is to find an alternative. Right. But there is the periodic table. Silver is the most conductive metal we have. It's more conductive than gold and more conductive than copper. So when you want to use less power to run your RAM and your AI chips, you want less resistance per unit. So 1 inch of copper line, whatever you want to do it in cubed, whatever, 1 inch of copper trace runs 50 ohms, let's say. Silver is 5, which means you're putting off 10 times less heat. That means 10 times more power is going to your processing. And so all of this matters. It's the science behind silver. Yes, they'll look for an alternative, but the periodic table is the periodic table. But I agree, Profac, absolutely. And there will be a lot of money into looking for an alternative. So you might want to invest in the people that are looking for the alternative. So while they're looking and a bunch of people invest in saying, find a difference for silver, find a difference for silver, find an alternative for silver, you can invest in them. And then when you think that they peaked and they're about to say, well, we didn't find one, you sell, and this is the game. The more cost, the more it will invest in to use less silver. Right. So the point is to get in it while you can. And then when that happens, it'll go as high as it can. And then if they can't find an alternative for silver and they say, this is where it's at, then it's going to peak. Again, there'll be a little fall off. But I agree. Copper could be an alternative, but AI would already be very demanding. Right. So you have temperature gradients. Okay, there's something behind. There's the more you know. That's what matters. The more you know. If you want to look into silver, look at its physical properties and compare it to what's available. You can look at the periodic table, like I said, and all this information is out there. People pay other people for this information. They're saying, I want you to find out if silver's the best investment right now. Here's why it is. Here's the pros and cons. If the pros outweigh the cons, if the don't invest during anxiety, don't sell during anxiety. Study. It's not going to happen in a second. If you bought it $20 and it's at 110 and it's dropping, you don't need to sell it at 105 or 90 because you're still way ahead of the game. You have more than when you started. So you say, hey, if it drops to 25, I'm going to sell. So then you just made a little bit, but you didn't lose your ass. The point is, what was your initial investment and what was everything worth at that time? Was it worth it? Rather than it just sitting in the bank making 0.8% or whatever, or nothing. And the thing about silver and gold is you can keep them in your safe. You don't have to even pay fees and stuff like that if you buy the raw metal. That's when you get into crypto and stuff, you've got to pay a fee to cash it out. They're making US dollars on you or whatever currency when you move your not when you move it, but when you cash out, when you buy silver with crypto, they're charging you 20% plus whatever the crypto exchange is. And they know this. So raw metals is always where it's going to be the cheapest thing to do. Since AI took off like crazy, RAM prices went 150 to 200%. Right. And so now, if you guys look into the ZRAM, ZDRAM is called. So Intel's about to come out with a process that stacks silicon chips, and they talk through a diagonal port on the chip, and it can use gold or it can use silver. If they use gold, it costs more to make, and silver is less to make, and it's more efficient. This is why it appears that they're going to use silver for that, and that's just Intel. And this is supposed to be their saving grace for RAM. And so, let me see what it's called. ZAM. It's called ZAM. I'm sorry, ZAM, not ZAM. ZAM. Okay, this is just one day ago, 16 hours ago. So this is very, very, very new stuff. It's called vertical Z-angle memory. Okay, and I haven't looked at any of this stuff here, so you're seeing it with me. Okay, a Z-angle memory promises big thermal boost. So it's going to do it cooler. They're going to use a different metal. See, we got a picture in here. Okay, let me see if I can find something here. So on the stacks, they're using a diagonal method to communicate because you can't communicate straight through. As you build stacks, they're laying, and all these are precious metals. All this is, and it's going throughout the entire thing. So they're communicating. So instead of just doing regular RAM is one piece of silicone, this is like 8, and they're all communicating. So it's using it's using a lot more precious metals in each product, exponentially more. That's pretty cool idea. Yes. That's a good idea, right? Good luck cooling it. Right. Here's the point. You cool it because the copper is causing a lot of heat, so you got a lot of heat. If you lower the resistance in your bond wires and in your internals, your vias, what do they call them? Your thermal paths, by lowering the resistance of the metal, going to silver, it's going to be cool. It's going to run cooler. And so you can run it using existing thermal technology, heat sinking technologies. You can run it at the same voltage and amperage and get more performance because you're dropping the resistance in your thermal path. But this is just one company. This is just one company. But they're going to spend a lot of money. Look, there's so much money in RAM. If you could come out with RAM these days, you would be a billionaire in a weekend. And they're trying to say, we can do this even better. But I understand, I agree, ProFact, but just like you said, money going into looking for an alternative to silver, money's going to go into figuring out how to cool this because you'll be stupid rich if you can figure out how to cool it, right? Just saying, people are going to put money into that. That's going to raise, yeah, I agree. Okay, I think NVIDIA is going to begin creating AI alternative to render graphics as well. 2025, they invested over $20 billion in AI partnerships. Helicopter, helicopter, helicopter. What up, Tristan? Yeah, this is the thing. You invest in information. You invest in knowledge, not in people. People are liars. Everybody's a liar. Everybody that's out there talking shit is a liar. If they can pay an influencer $500 to lie for them, and the influencer's gonna say, well, this is what the script said. The only thing that came out with the AI, yeah, yes, right, poopy pies. Yeah, right. That's what they've done so far. Question: let's say next year, multiple brain chips computer companies launch their flagship products at a cost of the same time as the phone would be. Oh, brain chips? No, hell no. Listen. I would absolutely would not. Listen, I can get more information currently than I need that I can even express to people. I have a lot of info. I don't need a way to transfer it out quicker, and I don't. Hey, what up, Robert? Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my friend. Bam. I got excited. Absolutely not. Rejection rate for organs peers. Right. Yes. Listen, the only people that will get rich off of that are the people that produce the chips and the medical industry and the insurance industry. If you're going to have tons of problems, but I'm going to tell you something about those brain chips. They're going to use silver. Silver is antibiotic and antiviral and antimicrobial. So that's what they're going to have to use to they can't use copper. Copper oxidizes and stuff like that. They're going to have to use. So even the people that are playing around with that to get it designed are going to buy a bunch of silver to do that too. Yes. Do you believe we can make teleportation? Brother, no, I don't think we can. I think it's an idea. Somebody told a good story and a lot of money will go into it because there's a lot of people that'll talk about it, and a lot of people will see ads, and the supporting companies, the AI companies and the computer processing companies that will have to go into testing this to make it try to work, they'll get rich off of this company failing. And it won't be a failure because they'll make a ton of money off of it. The product won't work, but they'll all be rich at the end of it. And this is the thing about science. If you come up with a story that you can get people to invest in, here's my hypothesis. We can teleport. Give me a bunch of money to find out if it's true. Come to find out it wasn't possible. But I'm rich now, and this is how science works these days. And the people that make the anti-rejection medicine, exactly, all those people will be getting rich off of it. What do you mean by 110th grade? Learn more here than you'd learn in any of your other grades. That's what I mean by 110th grade. Pay $2.99 a month to access your short-term memory, though. Or die. Listen, I think that's just a way to help AI go faster. If they can give me a chip in my brain, then then you could search my brain. That all of my knowledge, instead of you coming to me for my knowledge, you could go to Meta's AI and be like, what about this? And they can be like, well, Richard's brain says this. No, they're not getting that for free. Pay an extra $5 a month and 20 gigabytes extra memory for your brain. Oh, what? You stopped? You're getting Alzheimer's? Why don't you buy an extra terabyte of memory to remember these memories? It will remember them for you. Yeah, this is the layers and layers of pyramid schemes. It's absolutely whack. 11.99 for 4K memories. Right. The cloud was corrupted and erased your childhood memories. Here's a coupon for your next purchase. Right. Here's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. How about we rewrite ND's childhood memories into yours because we accidentally erased yours. And this is the thing. If they could replace your memories, you wouldn't know you forgot them. You could think you were a Democrat and they can make you a Republican or vice versa. No, don't touch with what God, don't mess with what God gave you. Absolutely not. If they could plant memories in you, then they could make you think think about all the lies that we just heard about the Epstein files, and now it's a good thing. They could do that. Nah, don't deal with that stuff. Mandela effect, exactly. Yeah. We want to know what you're thinking. Think about the people that won't let go. Like people that come in here that say, are you a Republican or a Democrat? Why? Why do you care? I'm not on your team if you're a Republican or a Democrat. You got to be one. Right? So they're just trying. So then if they'll just know, they'll be like, oh, okay, let's see. I want to go to a live stream with somebody that's a Democrat. I want to go to a live stream with a Republican. Okay, well, he's a Republican. He's a Democrat. He's what, this, that, Asian, white, red, black, whatever. You know, they'll just know. This is another way to sort you out by thought. I hope Apple don't fall Isaac Newton's head. I'm good with my head as it is, right? Who is Jeffrey Epstein? Well, it's looking like he was just like every generation. Like back in the FBI, you had, I can't remember his name back in the day, Herbert Hoover. I can't remember the guy's name. But he did the same thing. He kept files on everybody, how everybody liked to have sex, who they liked to this, and that, so he could blackmail anything. It was another big blackmail thing. It wanted to be, I've got this company, and I want you to make it law in your state that people have to use my company so I can get rich, or I'm going to tell everybody that you're banging 14-year-olds. And this is like, the team is I'm team. The game is rigged against us idiots. That's right. Agreed. Slowed. He was cartoon character. Who was a cartoon character? Which one did I miss? Oh, Slow. Jeffrey Epstein was a cartoon character. Bad guy, right? Watergate 2.0. I don't think he died. No, I don't think he died. Listen. Have you ever been to jail? You don't get 75 jumpsuits. Why was there 75 jumpsuits layered all around? Oh, it was blood. No, you would have taken a picture before that. Listen. It's a bunch of crap. Think about all the super powerful people he was dealing with. It's not hard to be like, hey, I'll pay $1 million to let this guy out of jail, and we'll just say he's dead. Right. Same, like Diddy did it with entertainers, and Epstein did it with politicians and business owners and future politicians. So he would find out people that were up and coming, and then he would be like, hey, let me help, let me put money. Look, because if you look at what he invested in people's democratic what is it called? When you say, hey, I want to run for mayor, their campaign, he donated to their campaigns. And then he said, hey, why don't you come to my island to talk about your campaign? Hey, look at this girl. She's 18. Why don't you, she looks like she really wants you. Camera, film it, you know, and then be like, oh, dude, she was 14. How about you do this, and that? Yeah, he's chilling on a new island. Did he collaborate with Epstein's? I guarantee it. I mean, listen, there's definitely a link from what we get from Epstein to Diddy. I mean, to Jay-Z. Yeah, and then definitely a link between Jay-Z and Diddy. Jay-Z and Diddy, right? Thoughts on Zoran Madami? Brother, he's got problems. He's a liar. He's a liar, dude. Even people that supported him are completely against him now. He's just taking all the money. So his free buses are now more expensive by more than half. It used to cost about $8 to go from New Jersey into New York City, the train and the bus, and then back, $8. Now it's $20 per person just to get to work. That's a day. So $100 a week just to get to work now. Yeah, he's ripping everybody off. I remember getting postcards about joining modeling casting calls out of nowhere as a kid. Yes, dude, right. It's crazy. Guards were sleeping and cameras failing when it happened. Right. Yeah, right. What do you think of the Board of Peace? I don't know what the Board of Peace is. Board of Peace. It's probably crap. Everything that they say they're for, they're against. Everything they say they're for, they're against. All the people booing Israel at the Olympics. I'm not into any of that stuff. I haven't watched them. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I was streaming during the Super Bowl. I haven't seen the clips yet. But yeah, hi Richard, how are you? Do you explain the concept of manifestation? It's prayer. It's the same thing. People that don't believe in God call it manifestation. People that do believe in God call it prayer. I didn't watch. No, I didn't watch any of that stuff. The color. He says no. I love the Olympics. They get some good jokes every time. They get some good jokes from the Olympics. Yeah. What up? Why I didn't watch the Super Bowl and the Olympics? Just highlights of people crashing. Right. That's all I basically watch too. Look, I'm not interested in it. It's all crap. I'm not interested in any of that stuff. The scary thing is the Epstein case is the really top of the iceberg. Right. If they're letting this info out, what do you think they're not letting out? They're placating you. They're saying, look, this is what you thought was happening. Oh, yep, we found it all. It's so complex. Give us 100 days. Okay, here it is. Not here it is. Yeah, so there's still all this. Yeah, it's all rigged. Look, people get caught cheating every time. You got, dude, you have the ding-a-ling injection thing this year for the winter, where they got guys from other countries injecting hyaluronic acid to make their ding-ding bigger, so that when they measure their suits, they get more crotch fabric sewn into their suits, so their suit acts more like a human, like the human wing, like when you jump. When you see people base jumping and they have the wing suit. Yeah, so they found that people get busted for that. So they're all cheating. They're all just It's all to manipulate gambling. They're gambling. Their billions of dollars are gambled on these people all the time. So if you say, hey, I'm going to make $100 million if this guy wins, how can I help him win? The Italian race. What up, Julia? Like Mariah Carey saying for the Olympics opening ceremony for no reason. Right. Yeah. I agree. That sounds crazy. Why the World Cup started, USA is also going to play. I did not know that. Read the file. I read a lot of it, man. But basically, I do the same thing that most people do. I go in and I search for terms, and then you can't just go looking for anything. You have to say, what do I want to find? And then search for those terms and then restart. You have to have a problem you want to solve. Else you just create way more problems and you only know a little bit about each problem. Ding-a-ling injections. Yeah. Hyaluronic acid, lip filler. Hyaluronic acid penis injections Olympics. Penisgate. Injecting a penis with hyaluronic acid would make a bigger girth-wise, but you would need to inject a lot of hyaluronic acid. But let's talk about it. So let me see. I don't want to find any images here. Hold on. Okay, so here it is. So when they inject it, you get more cloth in the crotch that acts like a wing. So it can give you up to 9 feet more of distance when you jump. It's absolutely crazy. Everybody's just seeing who can cheat the most. If all this does not start a revolution, a new political start, figure all this Illuminati stuff out, officially lost trust in the government, all the evidence is right there, right? A lot of people say that they fight the wrong enemy in World War II. Yeah, brother, people say it on both sides, right? That's the thing. Listen, the people at the top aren't working against each other. They're just telling you that they are. Because listen, even though you think the Republicans hate the Democrats and Democrats hate the Republicans, they're in power. They don't care if you argue about it. I think the big problem is people believe that their opinions matter. It just sells, the news just makes money off of it. It doesn't affect anything. Like the law, like the anti-ICE stuff. How many people got away? How many people did they not get arrested? How many laws did it change? Nothing. It didn't do anything. A bunch of people got killed and didn't need to get killed. I think we need a new government, in my opinion, of course. We have too many old people in charge that don't represent who America is. We need term limits, age limits, endorsement. Right, we don't need a new government. We need the laws that already exist to be enforced. Plain and simple. The laws already exist. They get a bunch of people out there that say, hey, blah, 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 is racist. We need anti-racism laws. We already have them. Why did I agree? Not just American Denmark as well. Yeah, all of them. They're all globalists. You don't scared if the FBI catch you? I haven't done anything for the FBI to catch me for. I mean, I haven't done. I don't. I'm open. Ads? Is there ads popping up? Is anybody seeing ads on the stream? Oh, you're talking about 4 ads, right? So you're talking about for the news, exactly. You're watching news. Oh my goodness, what happened with the Epstein files? After this, hey, buy this new anti-butt stink drug from Pfizer. Rah, 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 rah. Coming up next. Okay, later in the Epstein files, is Trump in the Epstein files? Oh my goodness, Trump's in the Epstein files. Oh well, it looks like he called the police on Epstein and tried to get Epstein arrested. It's all crap. It's storytelling. They want you to wait till next episode. Seems like the Epstein files are becoming a worldwide corruption deal. Yeah. Yeah, it's all crap. It's all crap. It's all crap. Don't let things that don't affect your life affect your life. Don't, like, you have people that are no longer talking to their grandparents because their grandparents voted for Trump. How did it affect you? Well, it made me mad. Well, if it didn't make you mad, would it have made you mad? No? Right. Then change your reality. Change what you think. You don't need to think what other people think. You have no purpose in life. Figure out what your purpose is. Tristan, if you let the government control your beliefs and what you think, you will be a mental person. Right. 100%. You will. They don't want competition. They don't want you to say, I'm going to run for governor to change this stuff. You're going to say, I'm going to go out in the street. I'm going to buy a t-shirt that says F this dude or F that dude. And I'm going to buy a sign that cost me $200 to say, get out of my town, instead of actually doing something about it. All that does is helps the area. When you burn stuff down, it just helps the insurance companies. It helps new companies come in. You burn down the small businesses and then big business come in to replace it. It's there. Listen, the people that win are winning whether you're winning or losing, regardless of what side of the government you're on. They're going to say, who's in office? Trump. What is his ideals? This is that. How do we benefit from it? Who's in office? Biden. What are his ideals? Blah, blah, blah. How do we benefit off of it? This is how people that win think. They don't think, oh my goodness, if Trump gets in, it's crazy. Why? Half the United States voted for him. Half the United States or more is for him. How can that benefit you and your family? Well, I don't have a family anymore because Biden said don't like your family because Trump. Cool. I didn't even know. My sister was a horrible person. The anti-butt stink drug. I don't know why my brain does that. I'm sure I'm on some list for making rocket motors come. Yeah, you definitely are. But just don't blow stuff up. Listen, they only go to look at that stuff after something bad happened. If somebody blows something up near your house and they say, okay, who bought this stuff? They'll be like, well, this guy's on the list. Go take a look. Where were you at this time? Where's your phone? Okay, you weren't there. Well, I don't even want him here looking at it. Well, look, if you want to advance science, yeah, anti-butt stink. And this is the kind of crazy stuff. Like, the crazy stuff. You have a bunch of families that make up the government. And they want to be the families. They don't want your family to do better. They want their families to do better. Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. You can either benefit off of whoever's in power or you cannot benefit off of it. Why would you not want to benefit? Because people on the internet will call me a freaking Republican. If that hurts your feelings that bad, then maybe you're out of the competition. If you can't see the game because you're crying, you got to figure out how to stop crying first to play the game. They just took you out of the game. You're no longer competition. Wasn't me. Yeah, illegal immigration. This is the problem. The problem is they're benefiting off of it. The lawyers are making billions of dollars off of this. They don't care. If you get caught, if you cross the border and you get caught, they get rich. If you come across the border and then laws change and then you get caught, they get rich. Because the government will pay these lawyers for your immigration. So they've got a way that even if this immigrant can't pay for the lawyer, the government's going to pay you for it. They have unlimited customers. They've created a whole bunch of customers. They don't care about the immigrants. The people that say they want immigrants here for cheap work are just modern day slaveholders. And they say they're anti-slavery. They're lying. Just look at their actions. We should be telling kids not to go to college to be politicians. They all magically get rich and never go to jail, right? Right. But the problem is the politicians don't want competition. They want that money. They want that money. And look, like even the Kennedys are in both the Republicans and the Democrats, the same family. So at the end of the day, when all these Republican and Democrat things go away, what happened? The Kennedys got richer on the Republican side and the Democrat side. Why don't you do that? Why don't you? My mom was a Democrat, my dad was Republican. They've been married like 57 years this year. 57 years this year. And they got along. You can too. If you're too emotional to deal with it, get out of the game. I'm an illegal immigrant. Okay, brother. Yeah, I mean, so what should you do? What should you do? How can you, out of the situation you're in now, how can you benefit the most? How can you benefit the most out of this? So you can make as much money as you can when you're here. When you get caught, if you get caught and you get sent back to your home country, you still have access to your bank account. So it's not, oh my God, they're separating families. No, it's just reasons for you to bitch about it. It's not, you can get your family back. How much money did you make while you're here? Right. How do you benefit from the situation you're in without hurting other people? Guilty of being right. ICE are heroes. I agree. Play the game, can't beat them, join them. And don't hurt anybody. The problem I have with modern day Democrats is they're benefiting off of people, of people with mental issues dying. They're waiting for it. The next big thing in the news. Oh, you'll be the next martyr. Great, until the next martyr. Wyatt's Vlog 2028. That ain't happening. We need it though. I'm an independent. Me too. I'm an independent thinker. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Nobody's going to tell me what's right and wrong except for the Bible. And there's no way in hell people are going to try to change the path I'm on for the betterment of my family. What do you think you're, but these people, well, why did they listen, you're playing a game. Just same thing with investment. When you come across the border illegally, you're gambling. Now, did you benefit from that gamble or not? And the thing is, if you didn't, it's not the government's fault. You knew what the rules were, you know? And I don't say you're wrong for coming here. I think America's a kick-ass place. Why else did you come here, right? And everybody knows that. They bitch about, oh, America's so bad. Okay, great. Go somewhere else. You don't have these issues in other places. Other places hold to their laws. I can't go to Mexico. I can't go across the border. They'll throw me out. The only criticism I have of the Bible is a complete lack of any reference to Dora the Explorer. Yeah. I thought about contacting the author, Bro Bez. Sorry, but healthcare should be a human right, especially mental health care. Right. Do something about it, right? This is so the people that argue over it and split families up because of their thoughts. Why? This is what people should do. Mental health care should be a right. Here's the problem. How much mental health care isn't mental health? How much of it is parasitic infections, vitamin deficiencies, and this stuff should be easy to find out. Mental health is too profitable. All these people with mental health issues are too easily controlled. It's not the government. It's the problem. The problem is people don't listen to the people. People don't listen to themselves. They listen to other people for all their ideas. I give out information all the time how you can have a better life. Some people take it, and some people say you did a great thing for me. I just give them the information. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to do. Dora would agree. Mankind comes so far and we change people to be healthy and just evil therapists. Evil therapists. There you go. Right. And this is the thing. Evil exists. People that want to break up your life and want you to live in hell on earth are evil. Now, whether you want to think they're evil people from the devil with horns or whatever, however you want to draw the picture, fine. The point is they want the worst for you. Therapist has left the group, by the way, going out on her own and ready to wreak havoc. Yep. So you say society is at fault? So no, I'm saying society is not at fault. What do you mean? Society? So the problem isn't society. The problem is people. They already decided that they want their information a certain way. They're not. Listen, do you know you can't change people's ways of thinking after about the age of 16? Unless there's a severe life event, people do not change after the age of 16. So there's so many different societies, but there's good people in each society. So was it the society's fault that they're good people, or is it just that there are good people? I agree on the person, but give them the tools. You have one. They have the tools. The internet's there. There's people don't do it. Like you see on the back of a box of cereal, it tells you the RDA values of all of your vitamins and minerals. It's up to you to make sure you have them. And people don't do it. I didn't do it for 40 years. I'm not saying, and it could be taught better, but then you have the industries that flip over the food pyramid and put grains on the top of the most important thing, telling you to eat Cocoa Pebbles. What up, Sophia? You've been here so many times. Listen, mental illness can be cured. Most of the time, a mental illness is caused from your body not having the proper nutrients to take care of what it needs to be taken care of. You don't have enough of certain chemicals or whatnot because you don't have the precursors for it. You eat foods that don't contain what your body needs. It's really that simple. Now, yes, if people are depressed because they saw their dog die in front of the street, then that's a chemical depression. But it's not just because, oh, life's so hard because Trump's in office. That's not how the brain works. This is helping me in social studies. There you go. I wish I could figure out how to stop nightmares. So there's a lot of medications that cause nightmares. There's a lot. One of the big things, and I've probably already told you, is D3. Vitamin D3 deficiency and nightmares. Vitamin D3 deficiency is associated with increased nightmares, poor sleep quality, and shorter sleep duration due to its role in regulating melatonin and the sleep-wake cycle. Low D levels combined with low calcium are linked to higher rates of nightmares and anxiety. So the problem is we're told to go to the doctors to get on anxieties before going to our own doctor, ourselves. We can name what chemical deficiencies cause this. Here, okay, well, I've never tried that. So why will you go to a doctor and say this? Because a doctor sells, doctors are salesmen. They don't tell you how to get healthier. They tell you what pills can help relieve the symptoms without hearing the underlying thing. I'm on Xanax. Yes, absolutely. Yes, because listen, Xanax and vitamin D absorption. Nutrient depletion. Benzodiazepines are linked to potential long-term depletions of calcium and influence vitamin D metabolism. I hit the wrong button. So these pills, the side effects are because how they affect how your body absorbs chemicals from your food. What about genetic mental diseases or codified science in families? So that's a story typically from environmental issues. Your brain didn't form in the ways that's required to create this, the chemistries that are needed for different things. So that can be genetics. So for instance, it happens a lot in inbreeding. Yes. So all of a sudden your body doesn't when you take vitamin D, you don't have what's needed to get the vitamin D across your gut wall into your bloodstream because of and so therefore you have parts of your brain that need different types of vitamins and minerals to form properly. So the reason for a lot of familial things are because you guys live in the same place and eat the same types of foods that may be deficient in certain things. It's not always genetic because most people have never had their DNA actually studied. They have a doctor say, oh, well, your dad had this and you had this, it's genetic. Right, but maybe it's because you're eating Campbell's soup and your whole family has and your grandmother always has and you haven't said. So this is the kind of stuff that because it's been so unimportant. It's been so unimportant. When people are told doctors can help everything, they're like, okay, cool, I ain't got to worry about it. If I get sick, I go to the doctor. No, worry about it every day. Spend 5 minutes a day making your life better. 5 minutes. I drink a ton of milk then. I drink a ton of milk then. So the problem is with vitamin T metabolization. Your body won't use it. So either you've got, or it won't do it as well. It lowers the efficiency. So a ton of milk, that you might be craving milk because your body's trying to get more vitamin, more D3 and calcium. Valium, Xanax, poison, Huxley. No. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because he was marketing it. He gets money in the back end for. Listen, a lot of people. Public musicians that talk about Percocets, that talk about, they're getting paid to do that. They're getting paid to do that. When they say, hey, you got a hit song about shaking butts, now here's our sponsors. What are they sponsoring? Oh, Percocets. I know a bunch of them sing about Percocets, and they don't even realize weed. It wasn't legal to sing about before. When they started to talk about making it legal, now all the rappers are singing about weed. It's all marketing. It's all getting ready for big sales. You have to determine what you're going to do with your life. You don't choose your doctor. I didn't watch the Super Bowl, Deborah. How you doing? Yeah, I was streaming during the Super Bowl. But things aren't as complicated as they seem. You're told what nutrients you need. You can find out. Are you getting them? Well, I went to my doctor and he said I need Xanax. Why? What deficiency did you have that Xanax is helping the symptoms with? Is it that you have, like, that you don't go outside, so you're not getting enough sunlight, so you're not getting enough D3, and therefore we'll take it. And this is how the pyramid scheme works. The American Medical Association is bullshit. Right. It's there to make money. It doesn't want you better. It wants you paying. Yeah, I'm not interested in that stuff, like Super Bowl stuff. Like I got no, I don't know why. I can't say I don't know why. It's not, to me, it's always been like, so I'll tell you what, when I remember one of the Super Bowls I watched, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, and I see as soon as they won, they put the hats on that already said Super Bowl 25 winner of the Ravens or whatever it was. So they already had the hats printed up for who was going to win the Super Bowl. How'd they know who was going to win? Maybe they just printed them for both teams and they throw away the ones that didn't win. Why can't I add something like health record, which keeps data of the family members so they can actually help future generations avoid obstacle? You should. You should do that for your family. And then you should make a product that you can sell to people or give away for free that can do that for people. Absolutely. That's what you should do. For if you suffer, people will be ill-educated, and their manners will be corrupted through their infancy, and then punish them for the crimes of watch the first again. Listen, it's all industry. They can make money if they know you're a piece of crap. Listen, during World War II, the Nazis looked into giving people deficiencies and non-deficiencies, different things, and then you can look through and say, hey, here's a bunch of people that are in jail already. Let's take blood tests for them. Okay, a lot of them have low this. Okay, so does low this lead to people that are more reactive and more emotional? Okay, well then how do we make a population for that? Let's start a company that makes a bunch of stuff that's low in this and make it cheap. And then you have more people. I ask the same question every year. They donate to other ad support countries. They donate to other ad support countries. I remember somebody telling me that. Problem is, it planted the seed. It planted the seed saying, I think this is bullshit. Especially nowadays, the amount of money and the amount, like last year they talked about all the mob families, like three main mob families, like from the freaking old school Italian mobsters, are still entwined in all of that stuff. Still, they go up to somebody and say, I want you to throw the Super Bowl. I want you to have be injured on this day. And it's also going to create stigma or necessary fear factor. But what's more important, that you're healthy or that you have a stigma? I don't give a crap about stigma. I don't care about it at all. You're told to care about it. I don't care about it. Create a company that goes against the stigma. There's also Super Bowl is rigged. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's rigged. Listen, it's definitely. Listen, it's so obviously a money grab now. It's so obviously a money grab. Yeah. It was pretty bad. Air fryers should be banned. What up, Gawk 2? Literally the most useless thing. Stigma. What about stoma? Charmulette tab. That's funny. I wish I could build an AI college and make it free, educate your people, and you would need the technology for your country, right? The problem is that you need to be able to curate the data because it'll just change. They'll say, "Oh, well, we just found out that freaking doing hopscotches will make you freaking blind," and they'll just listen. It's bought. The industries are bought. The education system is bought. When you say I want to start a school, you would have to write the textbook because you're going to just buy a textbook. That's where the yeah, all that stuff still happens. Lots of MBA cases. So the thing is still print. They still print both, right? Print the hats both, right? Right. I'm telling you where the seed was planted. I'm like, okay, all right. It's very interesting. But it's the kind of thing is it's also a big waste. Like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Why do they need the hats? Who carved the winner's name into the Super Bowl plaque? It's already ready. They did it real quick. Okay, cool. We had textbooks from Robert Maxwell. Robert Maxwell textbooks. Yeah, so when you own an education company and you're making textbooks, a company's going to come to you, a scientific company's going to come to you and say, "Hey, if we can find a way to tell the people that this is bad or this is good or whatever, they control what people think and feel." And you can always find evidence for your claim and just don't print evidence against it. No one double checks their textbooks. The reason people are so emotional about these things going on here in America is because they have college degrees and they're being told that they were lied to. And they're like, I paid for this. I paid for this. I'm $80,000. It's in my textbook. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. Conundrums? Go, condoms, mostly useless. You look a lot like Robert Penis. Robert Penis. Yeah, birth control is pretty much useless these days too, right? And there should be a law, and maybe I'll look into running for office over the next couple years. There should be a law that in order to have a medical license start with a state, in order to give anybody any sort of psychological diagnosis, you've got to give them a blood test. Then I'll start a company that does the blood tests. So then the law will require the blood tests, and then every doctor in my state will have to use my company in order to get those blood tests tested out. And then we'll let everybody know here's where your vitamin deficiencies are or aren't. And then this is how politics works. You have to have a goal or something, a business you want to promote, you want to market to. Then they create a law that benefits them. But you could do it, and you could do it for good. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. If you go to a doctor and they take blood and they're not just testing your cholesterol level, which doesn't freaking mean anything. They check your cholesterol, but they should check your blood and nutrient levels, and then make sure that it's done. And that's way how many. But then they have to use your company, yes, unless you come up with another company, and then when that happens, you can say, hey, they're low and all this stuff, but I won't get the money to do it. I won't get the investments because they want the pill sales. Most of the pills sold in the United States come from oil. They take oil, they add bacteria to the oil and stuff, and they create these compounds. Greed is good. Yeah, that's how it works. God, that's monopoly. Right. This is how it works. This is the company. I tell people, everything is marketing. Everything. You have and you have to be a better marketer than your competitor. You have to understand that if you want the better for the people, how do you get rich off of people getting better? That's how you do it. You start a company that does blood testing, and then you start getting money and telling, I want these politicians to push this. I'll give you a kickback. For every person that's used, you'll get $1. So if they can get 1 million people to use it, they make $1 million. So then you just use the system but you did it to help people. So you can be a politician and be a good person. Most just aren't. I truly want to start a water company. So if I just needed to make my water addictive, that's what Coca-Cola did. And then once that got illegal, became illegal, they added sugar and caffeine to it, to the amounts that would. The problem is, with so much sugar and caffeine, it made people puke. So they had to add an acid, phosphoric acid, to the Coca-Cola, most colas, so that you wouldn't vomit it up. My first doctor as an adult was a deer in the headlights. My second laughed at me when I said she did a hernia test. Laughed at me when she did a your testicular hernia exam. Third, used AI to record a session for notes. All my musical data on AI. Yeah, it would be a salt producing water company. You could do that too. Medical, not musical. Okay, good. Got all my medical data. Okay, I was wondering what we're talking about. Everyone knows that we just repeat yourself. I don't know Illuminati has to get this done. Coca leaf is sweet. Without it, Coca-Cola sucks. Hey, you know what? I think it was Elon Musk's most retweeted tweet was him saying, "Next, I'm going to have cocaine added back to Coca-Cola." And all the Republicans and Democrats retweeted it and shared it. It was like his number one tweet on X. Yeah, it's crazy. And this is how like kids aren't told how that everything is just marketing to them. So then you have people that they get likes and views on the internet, and they think that is popularity. So they market for somebody else. They say, "I want Kamala to win." So they're doing free marketing for Kamala. And then if they get a bunch of likes on that, then they go full that way. And they don't even understand what they're doing. They just know they get a better feed. They get positive feedback from the internet when they say this person's name over that person's name. Coke sucks. I need to look into how to capture lithium and deuterium since they're using seawater as a source. Yeah, big problem with seawater is you're gonna have to filter it out, because there's a lot more things in seawater nowadays than just pure seawater. There's fish poop, there's freaking plastics, there's battery acid that's been dumped in. There's a lot, and this is why you can have a good represent. You could. We ain't gonna talk about that, but yeah. What up, Drew? Elon's distanced himself from the government, but he pokes them with every gets a chance. Right, because he did it while it was beneficial to him. What was his bottom line before and after the election? It's gotten bigger. He's made more money. He's playing the game. Y'all hit that like, Borscht? Hell, brother, long time, my friend. What's going on, brother? I ain't seen you in a while. I just saw your name up here a second ago when I was looking up on the wall. Borscht, yo! Ain't seen you in a while, my friend. How are you? Yeah. You can definitely do it. So deuterium separation isn't that hard. You get a pillar of water and you let it settle, and then you only siphon out the bottom 1% of that water, and then you keep. Then you refresh that one pillar, and then as your second pillar, now that's going to be like, instead of 0.9% deuterium, it'll be like 9%, and then you keep doing it over and over again, and so you just keep pulling the bottom fraction, because heavy water is heavy water. If you have a pillar, a cylinder of water, the bottom will be more deuterium than less. And then you just take that bottom out. You have a hose connected to the bottom, just sucks the bottom part out, and then you throw that out, fill it back up, and then the stored part stays in another cylinder. You just keep doing it over and over again, and see, that's how you collect deuterium. Elon's a lifetime actor. Yeah, absolutely. What's up, Master Richard? I've been good. Things have been going good, my brother. Things have been going good. I was once a fan of Elon, but I think he's a dirtbag now. I think he's a human. I think he's a fallible human. He's just like the rest of us, and he's making the decisions to do the best for him and his family, and he appears to be hurting less people than helping. So, and here's the thing. I think it's important to reinvestigate. because the news knows that they can just give you 5 minutes of bad stuff about some people and change your mind, and never give you 5 minutes of them good again to change people's minds back. But we'll see. You've been missed, Borchell. I miss Borchell jokes. I mean, the whole world's going to right wing approach now. America, India, Argentina. Right. But here's the problem. The problem is the left went so left that the left went so left that the center seems right wing now. So you understand what I'm saying? That's what happened. They went full retard. They went full everything, complete lies. Men can be women, stuff like that. That biologically, complete lies. So they lost the trust of the average person, and then so now everything center looks right. I don't have any tattoos. No, I'm a wuss. I'd puke. I can't freaking deal with that pain. I don't even. Jeez, I left the U.S. 20 years ago and in Guatemala. You loving it there? I'm sure you probably are, man. What up, yummers? Normal is right. Right. This, like, you have to understand. There's something called the Overton window. The Overton window. That's interesting to show this. The Overton window. Okay, so here you go. You have the Overton window, all right? You have the right and the left, okay? And then you have what's popular, what's policy, and then on the right and the left. So when one side moves, sensible, acceptable, radical, unthinkable. So the left moved from the center, what's popular and what's policy, to what's radical and unthinkable. Boys can't be girls. They went completely asinine. So the people that are in the center are now the right of that. I know we're backwards here, but to the right of that. So that's what happens. And then you have then you have people that are saying absolute bullshit, that are saying you're right wing. No, I'm not right wing. You're nuts. I'm right wing of you. Right, but yeah. What up, Loretta? Franklin Stove, yeah, that was pretty useful. I had one of them. The U.S. left is top. Right, so, and this is the problem. It got toxic over time because they started slowly putting out bullshit, lies, and people started believing it. They were like, oh my God, how much money can we make off of this? And they just kept going. Then they went full bore. Thanks, guys. I missed too. I'm all good, just busy, not too much time for the internet. Hope everything's good. Everything good, brother. Yeah, they knew what they were doing because they were benefiting from both sides. Think about all the merchandise that was sold. Trump was on Epstein Island. Sure, probably. But how is that going to benefit you, Travis? Like that knowledge, like you, if you know that and you have proof of it, how can that benefit you and your family? And this is the problem. So many people spend so much time with stuff that they talk about that can't benefit them or their family at all. It's like, if he was there and you have a picture, let it be known. I'm tired of liars and deceivers, people that have no idea. If Trump was on the island, let's find some pictures of him and let's bury the guy. And if Epstein, if Bill Clinton was on the island, if Bill Gates was on the island, if Kamala Harris is on the island, let's bury them. Let's clean up the right and left wing. Let's get the trash out. What's wrong? Why can't we have a trash-free right and left to choose from? It's so crazy that we have to have insanity. OG conspiracy theories say decades ago. Oh, yes, absolutely, right. QAnon, right. But they went completely, yeah, and then that's all ended up coming true. Actually, the other day, what's his left-wing guy said, where do I send my apology to QAnon? I can't remember his name. What up, Daniel? Neither side of the government is going to benefit me. Then don't choose a side. Read my previous comment. The whole world is going a right-wing approach now. America, India, Argentina, Italy, and many other countries. Yeah, that's what I just talked about. Did you say something else? If you said something else, I didn't see it. I mean, it's not here. Far left makes one more step to the left, they're finished. Far right versus vice versa. That's always how it was, been. They always will be. Right. They can benefit financially out of everybody buying merchandise and advertising for free. You get a bunch of people on the internet saying Trump's better than Kamala. Kamala's better than Trump. So the one side's benefiting Trump, one side's benefiting Kamala, and neither is benefiting you. But these people that I don't even know are. Sometimes I think about Zoran calling himself a socialist. He's definitely he's not a socialist. He's a capitalist. Just because he says stuff doesn't make that true. He's a freaking rapper, actor, rich guy. He's not a socialist. You think the Epstein Island is going to be cheap after go cheap after the investigations? Say it again, ND. Do you think the Epstein Island is going to be cheap? Oh, yes, dude, yes, absolutely, yeah. I bet you. No, I'm not going to Google that. Yeah, I bet you we can find out. Hold on. Real estate value of Epstein Island. Okay, two islands. So he had two islands, Little St. James and Great St. James, were sold in May 2023 for $60 million. I wonder who bought them. They were trying to sell it in 2022 for $125 million, and it just sold 2023 for $60 million. He bought them for $8 million. What are you going to do with it? Dude, what are you going to do with it, right? What are you going to do with it? Listen, think about how much money you could make off of that island, okay? Left wing, right wing, doesn't matter. If you put up the history of Epstein Island on Epstein Island, and you put a bunch of things for people to visit and a couple of bars there and a tourist trap, and you get yourself, dude, people would go there to be like, it was so famous. Look, people go to freaking war. They go to Auschwitz and stuff like that. Absolutely, they're going to make money off of it. They're going to benefit from it. Because people that win benefit no matter who's in power. They have a bunch of losers like us out there saying, no, this guy should be over this guy. They will never dig out the real trash out because left and right work synonymous term, but people like to vote because they don't know how to. They don't know that fact. Right, I agree. Mr. Beast owns islands too. Yes, he owns a lot of islands. Go to Thousand Islands. Everyone has B&B. Thousand Island, like the dressing. I would love to have a little island with a small dock and a mansion with the beach. But yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. But see, the way I would do it is I'd have my family there. I wouldn't invite freaking crazy rich people over to party with freaking kids. Like, that's nuts. But you know why he did it? Because he got all of it. How much money do you think he made blackmailing all these people? Especially like Bill Gates. What up, Alex? Expat. Thousand Island is upstate New York, where the dressing is from. Oh. Thousand Islands is from upstate. Okay, gotcha. It's called Thousand Islands Farms, right? Oh, only you better, right? You'll end up like Epstein 2.0. Who wants to be freaking 75 years old and dealing with all this crazy bullshit? You like look at these guys that created Windows and Microsoft Office, and now they're just freaking pedophile freaking wackadoos. And this is the thing. Does it matter if it's true or not if they don't go to jail, or did it just destroy their legacy? Welcome back, Sophia. Yeah, that's just crazy, It's crazy. Think about your future. Listen, that shit, so it's not politicians' fault. Public should stop voting the PDFs. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And the problem is you have people that don't do any deep diving ever. If CNN says vote this way, if Fox votes this way, that's the way they vote. You should be able to vote for a Democratic governor and a Republican senator or whatever, if whoever's the better person. But if you vote for somebody because of their skin color, because of their religion, because of their Democratic or their political party affiliation, you're the problem. Even the left kind of dumb right now. I don't even know Obama was a bit better. Obama was freaking coming out to be a scumbag too, but he was a bit better. But Obama deported more people than Trump. Obama deported 5 million people. And Obama hired the same guy that Trump hired to lead the deportations. People are just, they don't know this. They're just so anti-Trump because the news tells them to be. I think now that all this stuff's come out, I think the reason the left is so mad at Trump is because they found out that Trump called the cops on Epstein in 2006. And they're the ones looking for retribution. How dare you? We had all this power set up. How dare you? Yeah, we have an election commission. A bunch of them. Each state has one. Obama was the worst, worse than Clinton's. I want to do an Obama stream. 6 9 for 2028. One said politics is an art of lying. Right, it is. Politics is the art of turning influence into affluence. From people listening to what you say into making you rich. No matter, and the truth doesn't matter. But is it their fault for lying or is it your fault for believing it? It's your fault for believing it. But they push out this art of avoiding. It's always somebody else's fault. Facebook is the worst invention, brother. I'm right there with you, Papa Bear. Your uncle's a smart man. That's right, sure is. Yep. And if someone lies to you and within 30 seconds of being lied to, you could know if it was a lie and you don't look anything up. I don't know. My gut's telling me Kamala Harris is going to quit and Obama's going to make a comeback. Kamala's making a comeback. At least she just started up the Kamala headquarters website back up again the other day. Is Putin a bad guy compared to Trump? This is the problem. I don't think so. Compared to Trump, I think he's just another ruler of a country, but he definitely has killed people and put his political prisoners in jail that didn't appear to have done anything wrong. Like at least the people Trump's trying to put in jail, he's got evidence for. I just think that's the game. There's human condition, though that isn't any hold on. There's a human condition, though, that isn't any idea choice. Right. I have to agree with that, too. We are predisposed and subjected biologically, what isn't a choice. I agree with you there. Also, you have to fight against this sometimes. And I think a lot of big things is what people do is we don't teach people what human nature is, and then we sell it back to them, what they don't know. Like no, what do you mean? Of course men can be women. Of course men can have babies. What are you, dumb? Oh, sorry. No, I didn't realize it. I didn't want to offend anybody. No, they're just trying to straight up lie to you. And they're like, what? You deserve to go to jail for not knowing. Didn't you go to college? Putin's the smartest one, but not the best one. Right, he plays the game very well. Right, if you think about it that way. ND Putin is the same as Trump. They both do not care for their own citizens. They do favors for other sponsors, both opportunists, no patriotism, both men. It's like the pandemic. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, listen. They did. This is what I think about the pandemic. They wanted to be able to stuff the ballot boxes. Trump was not supposed to get into office. They wanted to stuff the ballot boxes. So during Trump's first term, the pandemic comes out, and then everybody's not, you got to be 6 feet away. So if I'm 6 feet away from you while I'm putting my vote in the ballot, maybe I can put 40 votes, 900 votes into the ballot boxes. Because remember, you couldn't be inside of an election station. You had to go to an outside ballot box. And you can wear a face mask because COVID, the box might give you COVID. What about sex accusations against Trump? I mean, are we jumping approach to it? I'm not saying worship nobody. I'm saying learn the best of the two and benefit from the both. Who gets hurt the least? Every war, every battle has people that die that didn't deserve to die. People that get hurt that didn't deserve to get hurt. It's part of how things happen. Unless you get there to be the third, unless you're the one that can stand between Trump, Biden, Kamala, whoever, there's not someone that's spent the money and done the work to get there to play the game. We're backseat quarterbacks, backseat drivers. The Arabs hate Trump. It seems like it. Everything's bigger in Texas. What up, Space Cow? Polydac. School. Yep, we need some school. Workers must rule. Brother, there's dumb workers too. The problem is the problem is the smart people should rule, not the educated people. Popular vote anyway, right? Right, Borchell. Who are the sponsors? It's so like whoever's sponsoring him, like Apple, freaking Amazon. They help build that new ballroom, and they're saying, "Hell, I'm going to help you do this, and I need this law passed, or I need this done. How can you reduce the rates for the post office so I can do this, and that?" And that's how it works. If in order for because you're looking at numbers, we need low unemployment. How do I help your company make more money so you can hire more people to make more money? And they play these games, and people have ideas, and they test to see if they work. Oligarchs are the sponsors. That's correct. Vance versus Newsom. Yeah, probably. Another year, no good choice. And Biden's not even in the picture. Right. You get what I'm saying, though. Unless you're going to go there to be like people say, we have the choice between the better of two evils or whatever. Well, why don't we get somebody there who's not? You just choose from the people they give you instead of you putting a choice out there. And when I'm saying you, I mean everybody. You could say, I want you to be senator, so I'm going to write it and say, I want this guy to be senator. Let's see if we can get enough votes to get this guy to be senator. And people don't do it. It's only people that already have power and money that can pay for the advertising and the marketing and say, this person's running for office. Have you noticed Republican candidates from Texas? I think she's a bit too much. They're all too much. Amazon, the new standard oil. Yep. There you go, Selena. Selena girl. Or Trump will try to run the third term if he's still alive. I usually just vote for Pedro. Right. And this is the thing. People complain, but they don't do anything about it. And the politicians know this. So they're saying, how can we benefit from this? So they can run two people against each other and they know one's going to lose, but they can sell millions in merchandise. And then when that person loses, they lost that race, but they're rich. That what the purpose of their running wasn't to get into office. They wanted, like, sometimes they'll put someone horrible, like Jasmine Crockett. They'll put her up against somebody who they know she's going to lose. But because of people are so tribal, they'll pump so much money behind her, and they'll pay $30 to hear her speak, and she'll make all that money, and then she'll lose, but she didn't lose any money. She made a lot of money. So it looks like she lost, but it's not like she went out of business. She's not broke. She's not bankrupt. Anyone heard of Vermin Supreme? Vermin Supreme runs every cycle. Real dude. Big boot on his head. Vermin Supreme. That sounds familiar. The New York mayor, how about him? He's crazy. He's a capitalist that lies and says he's a socialist, and he's getting rich. Look, you got a bunch of kids that are like, socialism in New York. So he goes to New York and says, I'm a socialist. And they're like millions of dollars. They're using the capitalist system to try to get the socialist in government. The socialist gets in government. Come to find out, he's not a socialist. He just says he is. It's just in his name, but he doesn't act like a socialist. He's now getting rich. He's been in for like a couple of weeks, and he's rich already. I guess money makes the world go round. Right. Learn to play the game or lose it. Like Kamala just bought an $8 million mansion last month. She didn't care if she's not the president because she wasn't there running it anyway. Just like Biden wasn't running it. Obama was probably pulling all the strings. She would have just been there and got rich off of it. And she did. So yeah, she lost the election, but she won the game. And now she gets lifelong special forces. What do they call those people? Secret Service to protect her, and she's wealthy behind, money is like air. You ain't getting far with that either. Right. And the thing is, Trump was negative $900 million in debt in 1994. He was worth negative 900 million. So if you have $0 and you're like, I'm broke, he was super broke. And now he's a multi-billionaire president. Even if you lose the race, you win the game because millions and millions of people have bought your shirt, your hat, your mug, advertising on your website and all that. And listen, and that's not the money that goes towards your election. Your election is you have people that donate to your election. So that's the money you're using to run your election. But the hats and stuff like that, you just your YouTube views, your TikTok views, you keep that money. That's your company. All made in China too, right? Yeah. I just need to write a book. Write a book. Do it. Just do it. Do a voice to text and then spend a couple hours going over correcting any issues. The boxes, the drinks are sitting on the cheese. Have you ever photoshopped you're going to make it appear? Can you do that? I don't ever send it. I'll send anybody my freaking ding-a-ling pics. They want to look at it, they can come look at it themselves. I ain't sending you two freaking pictures of my son. And the thing is so crazy. Since this stream has gotten a little bit more popular, I get so many people asking me for my Snapchat, that, and I'm just like, you just want me to send you naked pictures. And then the thing is, that's how Epstein was. You have these people that got these girls, they really want you. They want to see a picture of this, they want that. And then now they have that to use against you. I'm like, because I don't care to send somebody in another country my ding-a-ling. Come here if you want it. I'm not going to fly you here. You're going to fly yourself here. Yeah, and that's crazy. Why? And then this is what I think they made it such an open thing. Like, nudes. Now it's being used against all you crazy people. And it's amazing how often it happens. How often I get asked for naked pictures. It's crazy. And it's crazy. You could probably crank out a book in a week, publish it on Amazon just in the past. Yes, right, absolutely. Go back to the last 50 years. No president in the major economy did any of that positive outcome for his own people. They're all crooks, paid by big corporations, money they have donations. Right. So how do you choose which one you're going to vote for if you're going to vote? The populace is trying to break Lucy in the football cycle of American politics. Yep. What up, Loretta? Could choose a representation by lottery. The representing office goes to him. I've talked about this also. It should be the same way we do juries. We should have people that have to represent for a month, whatever it is, so that you don't have enough time to set up networks and stuff like that and change up. And then in another month, somebody comes in and says, oh, look at this guy trying to steal money from this guy. Or, like it would flush stuff out so much faster. Because now, if you're in office for 4 years, it's going to be at least 8 years before, or at least 4 years after that, and somebody's going to look into your crooked stuff, and that money will already be spent and invested. And then if you get 2 years in jail, but you made $20 million from people off, it's still worth it. Because you're still saying, but I went to jail for 4 years. But you made $6 billion in 4 years. It's worth it to them. I got stuck in a vending machine once. The economy has always been used to determine power. Just finance a few wars and you have enough money to control the straight. If you want to be a billionaire fast, you should kiss the wall first. They get stuck in the vending machine. Hire some people to crank out some YouTube content, sit back and collect the money. Right. Well, think about it. You have people that are using AI for that. And until just like last month, they were getting paid lots, up to $40,000 a month. This AI slop. Do we need to educate our kids about LGBT? No! What? No. We don't need to teach them about straight sex either. Stop talking to kids about sex. Stop. Everybody. That's such. Well, they need to know what blowjobs are because that's how gay people say I love you. They don't need to worry about that. They need to frickin' figure out how the world works. It's just to confuse these people so they don't be like, wow, everybody's an asshole. Kids, not kindergarten. Lamb, I got stuck in the washer season, bro. Step, bro. Valley crash out on, right? Yeah, listen, it's not. Stop talking to kids about sex. I think it might have been an Umbo Voice Pro Pack. I think it may have been. An Umbo Voice. I don't know where it came from. It didn't happen. It happened automatically. More like Kermit. There you go. Most inventions, lawn darts. Let the kids be innocent. Right. Stop trying to get them into your crazy ass ways. Because most people are confused anyway, even at 14, 15, 16. Like, people don't even know if they're boys or girls, and you're going to try to tell them out. No. Everything made by DARPA. There you go, brother. The man himself approaches. What's up? Kahora finally sobered up enough to come back to the stream. Laser level. Stop talking about the government. Guys, I think I need to go. The biggest gang I know they call the government. And the gang is the weapon that you trade your mind in for. Sorry, I was looking at a video. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Getting the video engraving coins going up. I had sex ed in 5th grade. The end of 5th grade, we had sex ed. And we got to ask questions. They didn't force sex talk upon you. But you need to make sure that you don't talk. Just watch the Shark Tank and see some useless stuff. Yeah, there's lots of useless stuff about Shark Tank. I agree. I'm convinced that the lefty worm is turning. The lefty worm? Yeah, it's turning. What specific policies do you like of the Democrats? They don't have any anymore. And listen, and everything they had that was worth anything, they had in the 90s, and now that's MAGA. MAGA's got everything that was good in the Democratic Party in the 90s. The problem is nobody looks anything up. They say, oh, the news will do the background checks and let us know who's good and bad. It's all crap. Yeah. So we are waiting for the Avatar to come back and save the system. That's right. Bring the Avatar back. Chinese social points coming to your country soon, sooner than you think. I agree. My niece has already talked about boys in school, and she's breaking my heart. We upons. And the parents have to approve of sex ed. Right. If when I had sex ed, I had to bring a permission slip home to my parents and say yes, he can talk, he can be in sex ed class, and these are the topics that will be discussed. Now they're like, oh, you're 4. Mine was definitely 5th grade. It was definitely 5th grade. And we had a boy class and a girl class. So there was 2 teachers. They were married. I can't remember their names. Clemmingston, something like that. Mr. and Mrs. Clemmingston, something like that. So Mr. Clemmingston took all the boys and Mrs. Clemmingston took all the girls, and they asked questions, and we asked questions about condoms and this and that. And the girls didn't talk about penises, and the boys didn't talk about, because girls didn't say, I'm a boy, I identify as a girl, where do I put this tampon? They just want to sell more products. If tampon companies can get men to buy tampons, they sell more tampons. They don't care about your sexual proclivities. I had sex then too, he wasn't happy. Dude, I don't remember asking any questions, but I remember we had to write them down because they were all because they make people feel bad about not knowing stuff. I remember questions being read out like what is a condom and that's the only one I really remember that somebody wrote. But we had if we had 'cause I didn't have any questions. I had an older brother. I mean, he was like I was in fifth grade. He was already in eighth grade, so he was already kissing girls. So I didn't really have any questions. And but when people had questions, they would just write it down and then they put it into a big box, like and they shook the box up, so people didn't know who asked the question. So if you asked something silly like "What is a vagina?" But yeah, it was, and then they had a course that they went over that was like this is how babies are made and this is how this is, but it wasn't like this is how gay people tell each other that they love each other. How about they just tell them they love each other? Why does the bedroom need to come out? Now you need to understand about STDs and stuff like that. That was talked about. This was in the era of AIDS, and this was in the mid '80s, and like we talked about the STDs, we talked about protection. Yeah, but you didn't have to talk about like and birth control stuff like that. Yeah, mostly science based. But the problem is science was hijacked because now science is telling you that men can have babies. So science got hijacked along the way. But then why didn't scientists realize that? Because they're saying unscientific stuff. My sex ed was the Benny Hill show. Yeah, China's a snake in the grass. Persistent permission slip up. Permission slip one up. One up. We need a social credit system, but not the Chinese way. They showed us how to put on condoms. Yes, yes, yes. Yep. They used the banana and condom. Yeah, yep. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, yeah, it doesn't matter. I remember Zach said it was so weird. It felt so forced and rushed. Right. And what age were you? And it felt forced and rushed. Imagine being freaking 4 years younger. Imagine being 8. Yeah, that's crazy. I remember we had that in elementary school. They gave us deodorant. I think they gave us. Yes, I remember that too. They did that in PE class, right? Like in PE class, and they didn't. My day was good. How you doing? How you doing? Who do you? Oh, bashing up the bishop, bashing the bishop. I mean, condom vending machines in colleges. Yeah, college, I can understand why. But yeah, college is worthless, dude. Listen, everybody's so in there for the party. They're not learning anything. Most people are drunk, hungover, high, selling drugs. It's a great place to buy drugs, a great place to get laid. But you're not learn. Look at the people that just came out of the last freaking 20 years of colleges. They're the worst politicians. They're worse. They're trying to say the stupidest stuff. Biological. ND beats is a virgin. Men can have babies. Monkey needs a lot of slapping. It doesn't surprise me, ND. That's racist. That's racist. You were in second grade in 2002 and they had sex ed? They always come in second. What do you think about engineering college? You think it helps? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, engineering is a complete because that's fact. This is how much pressure you can put on this material till it snaps. Everything else is just crazy. I met my wife in college. For me, it's the corn over the piece of cotton over the piece of string cheese. Is that what they did for you guys? Oh, gotcha. Most useless inventions, coffins. Yep, that's funny. I agree. They used to give out lifestyle condoms. Never used to blow that. They always break. Yeah, they gave out lifestyles. Yes, they gave out lifestyles. Exactly what they gave out when I was in school too. I'm cake gender. Powdered rhino horn. Okay, got some thinking of going to college, engineering college. Yeah, that's different. Don't go for freaking social justice studies or gender wackadoodle. None of that stuff. Listen, even if you want to study that stuff, why do you got to study it? Why do you have to pay? Why do you have to pay for gender studies? It doesn't make sense. You have to learn what investing in your future is. Do not pay to go to school for something that you can get for free. If you're going to school to be an engineer, a doctor, you need a professional certification. So you have to pay for that, but you don't to do all the other stuff. It doesn't make sense to pay the money for that education when you can get it for free. I'm talking about the social justice stuff. If you want to be a social justice warrior, don't go into debt over it. Just do it. The sound of a hamburger. I like playing football. Do you recall the last time you ate the sweaty balls? I don't think I've ever eaten sweaty balls. Banana. But yeah, listen, absolutely. And when you decide what you want to do in school, decide what jobs can I get for this? Do these jobs, are they projected to still be available? Because think of all the kids that went to school in the past 10 years that went to stuff that's not even going to be available because AI is going to have taken it over. Or I was already projected to take it over and they went $100,000 into debt. And then now that gives another politician to say, we're going to free you from your student loan debt. And then he didn't do it. When does the college, when you say college will also include STEM programs? I think it does too, unless you're at a college that's a higher level college. Listen, if you go to STEM programs, I know a lot about STEM, and you can ask me just about anything about it. I went to MIT online in my room. And it's open courseware. You can learn all that stuff, and then you can get the certification if you want to do it. But if you're guideless, if you don't know what if you're no you don't have a path, if you don't know what you want out of life, you don't know what your purpose is, then don't just spend money. I refuse to give my innocence away before marriage. Did my mom drop me as a baby? Probably a lot. Most useless invention is a mustache guard when you eat soup. Yeah, it's a good one. That's it's a good invention. Especially if you don't have a mustache, it's useless. AI doesn't have hands. That's right. That's right. Listen, if you want to get rich, and this is what I'm talking about, all these people that are going to get rich off of AI aren't going to get rich off of using AI. They're going to be the support companies and the people that invest in those companies. Those companies need things. What do those companies need to be successful? Then, if those companies are successful, you are too. Does kids nowadays know about scholarships? Dude, they all listen. The problem with scholarships, it's like sports scholarships and stuff. They're not. They lie. The teachers lie. The kids cheat. The kids that go because they're smart. That's very very rare. But if you're smart, if you're brilliant in elementary school, junior high, and everything, and you don't get side railed in a gender bull crap. Why does it matter how you're going to have sex? If you don't have sex till you're married, why does it matter that how you know how other people have sex? How does that matter at all? Well, we should know it. Why? The mystery of sex is the best part. And they want to ruin it for you. I took robotics so I can do that for you. There you go. How do you require to juggle? If so, I cannot juggle, dude. I can't. I tried for years. I can't juggle. AI can't fix stuff around your house. Learn a trade. Learn a trade. Definitely. Listen, the electrician, the buildings, construction, all of that is needed. Every great idea someone has needs electricians to give them power, needs electrical engineers for wiring and whatnot, needs construction workers for building the buildings. They're always going to be needed. And then when one company fails and that gets destroyed, somebody else has got to stand the new one up. My real interests don't align with jobs. Right. Then you got to figure out a way. You got to figure out a way to profit that. Either you create your own education system. And think about all the bullshit colleges out there that aren't legitimate colleges. They're just called blah, blah, blah online, Phoenix Alpha online, all that stuff. It's just people learning. And these colleges just buy curriculums and resell them. It's not, you don't need, the colleges aren't how they used to be. Plumbing is a high paying trade at 6 figures. No problem. Easy. And you can make $500,000 million a year if after you're a plumber for a couple of years, if you start hiring people under you, because you can only crank so many wrenches a day. You can only cut so much pipe, glue so much pipe. So if you could have 5 more people under you and you're doing more, you can still pay them well and still make a lot of money. Absolutely. Do you think the future in human propulsion population would shrink in the future? No, it's going to grow. Listen, that's a big lie. We can fit everyone in the world in Texas. In Texas, most of the world is empty. That population bullshit. Most of our food gets thrown away because it's not shiny enough or apple shaped enough. It's all crap. Richard repping the blue shirt. Once upon a time, my brother-in-law was an electrician. He was very handsomely paid. Yes, electricians, dude. I know more than a dozen making $250,000 a year right now, setting up AI data centers and other data centers. And all they're doing is running wire, clipping connectors on. They're not even running high voltage. It's all low voltage. Nah, Richard, I fail first. My profession, I mean, I was a professional. I was a professional prop maker. I worked for the movie industry for 15 years, and then I retired to do this. What else is needed? Gigolo, just the gigolo. When you go in playing field in that industry, everywhere I go, lay some pipe. Richard straight crippin', cuh. My flag. Straight crippin'. Right. Yeah, be an electrician. Listen, you can always shift. Look, I'm 49 and I just did a profession change last year. And you can do it. Where's Mark Cuban? He's missing the usual comment stupidity. Richard got the dance moves. I got it. I used to break dance, dude. I used to break dance. But yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah, get out there. Don't listen to the freaking people that benefit from your downfall. Show us your crip walk. Can't. I got excommunicated from the Church of Crippin'. I'm not allowed to do that online anymore. Auto mechanics. Yeah, I can't do that. Right? No. Right? Yeah. Listen. You wrenches, dude. Wrenches. Listen. Absolutely. I like the mosh pits. That's what I did back in the day too. Slam dancing mosh pits. Back when I was a musician, like when I was 14, 15, 16, I was in all the freaking I wasn't into like the death metal stuff. I was into the punk rock, so we call that slam dancing more than. But yeah, like then I was like, this hurts, so I'm gonna start playing the music. Once dived into the snow with shorts and no shirt. That ain't a good idea. Grip walk, step on them. What up, the deal? The different to do. Aim for stuff humans will always need. That's why toilet paper condoms always right. Right, I agree. Richard is more hip hop than hip hop these days. I'm more hip hop, right, than hip hop. I had to, eventually you get promoted. And it's like you see, like if you understand how gang culture stuff works, and I'm talking about progressing in it. You start off as a guy on the streets, and then you become a recruiter. Those recruiters are called rappers. So they go out and they get a lot of money from the rest of their gang behind them to do them enough publishing and marketing for them to get them popular, and then they rep their clique. And then more people are like, I want to be a Crip, I want to be a Blood, and it's just marketing. Nice shirt, thank you, my brother. What up, Game Genie? You look like you paint like Bob Ross, brother. I do not. I've tried. I do not. Game Genie, though, that's a freaking good old. I used to have that for the 8-bit Nintendo, the NES. Crips and Blood. Do you know a sidewalk sissy? I don't know. No. I don't know any sidewalk sissy. One reason I want to focus on water. Can't survive without it. Right, that's true. You can't, or no, you cannot. No, that wouldn't be a good trick. Or toilet paper or jet spray. I have a jet spray. I got both. I've got a bidet. It's a strap on. Wow. 100 ways to produce it. Yeah, absolutely. Then why is the fertility rate all around the world dropping constantly? It's like an evolutionary cycle that's happening, or like a big filter development. It depends where you get your numbers from. It's not like if you look in Muslim societies, they're not declining at all. They're absolutely going big. It's just what the government wants for it to stay funded is different. The government spends more money. They need more people to pay that tax base. If you can get the government to spend less money, you don't need as many people.
Julio in space station sitting down by a tree. Julio in space sitting by a tree. KISSING. I wouldn't mind to try the jet spray. It's great. Absolutely great. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. I yeah. Listen. Toilet paper didn't exist 200 years ago. Model train in space cow sitting on the track. KISSIN crack. I'll see how it is. I'm coming to your street level down. Hello, Michelle. How are you? Long time no see. I'm a bidet evangelist. I'm a fan. What's Trump going to do with Venezuela? He's going to take a bunch of oil. He's going to make a bunch of Venezuelans rich. And he's going to get rich off of it, more rich off of it. Street life. Doing good. Doing good. Doing good. Everything's going great. I'm a few million years away from buying my first G5. Thug life. What up, Katie? Yeah, yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do good stuff. I'm 220 back in my days. 220. 70 million. In 45 what? Oh, you're 45? I'm 49. It always seems warm water, cold water. No. Mine's okay. So the one that I have has a tank. When you take your toilet seat off, and this is a bidet that's got a toilet seat built in. There's a tank on the back, not the toilet tank. The tank on the back of the toilet seat holds warm water, and it runs it through the toilet seat to keep the toilet seat warm. And then when you use the bidet, it mixes that warm water with regular cold water and gives you, and then you can dial in how warm or cold you want it to be. But yeah, no, it ain't cold water. I couldn't deal with that. Your butthole be like, move fast and break things. Might stop smoking. Might stop eating fast food, but never stop drinking iced tea. Yeah, it's exactly what I did. I don't smoke. I don't eat fast food, and I drink my own iced tea. I love iced tea. Actually, you're 18. There, that's a little bit different. Do you like hot shower or cold showers? I don't. I'm not a fan of showering, dude. But when I do, it's got to be warm. I don't like cold. I don't like hot. I'm not all about that crap. I'm 156, but I need to be like what? Oh, pounds. Yeah, you guys gotta get your health in check, 100%. We're all gonna die seeing 50 Cent as president one day. I hope so, dude. I think it's happening. I think 50 Cent is moving to be president one day. The Democrats don't hate him. The Republicans like him, and he's anti the bad kid, the touching kids. No, I'm not Jewish, Jebediah. I just broke my nose a lot. Bidet composed with Carmen. Hang on. Hot water is dope. Too hot. Richard hasn't took a shower in 3,004 billion years. No, I'm not gay either. I'm not gay. I'm not Jewish. Anything else? What were we just talking about? What do you think about AI taking most jobs? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And the jobs it does take, they'll be phrased. Listen, a lot more people got to get off their ass. Look how fat America is. Get off your ass. You got all these people that get off your ass. Yeah, you are. Katie said, "Oh, that I can't sleep in my bed before a shower. I'm not on anything. Literally, you write no. I really want a hot tub. There, kid. I get that a lot, Katie. Literally, you right now, Caden Vlogs. I'm a fan of Doctor Who. I may be him. How are you, Proverbs 31? Yeah, Zuckerberg's evil. Absolutely. Listen, dude, have you looked into any of the algorithms those guys use? Listen, so when girls take a picture of themselves on Facebook, a selfie of themselves, and they delete it, like after like an hour, if they don't get any likes and they delete that selfie, Facebook sends them ads for makeup because they know that they're in a bad space mentally. They feel bad that no one liked their selfie. So they say, "You need this makeup." And it sells, it does so well for sales, but it destroys women's thoughts about themselves. So then they sell things like like Instagram and Snapchat filters, stuff like that. So they make people feel bad about themselves. They post a picture, they ain't got no makeup on. They don't post it. They don't even put it out to these people's friends, these girls' friends, to get likes. They restrict, they shadow ban it. So then women delete it, and then once they delete it, they'll get an ad for makeup or soap or perfume. It's crazy. I do. I do. I support Trump. I didn't a few weeks ago, but I do now. What about companies use AI coders and maintain their codes? That's so horrible, yummers. Dude, talk to Kahora about that. It's all crap code. Just because code works doesn't mean it's efficient. And if you're talking about saving power, yeah, it's not good. Richard, you slay me. Thank you, Laura. Two bros chilling in a hot tub 10 feet apart because they ain't gay. Facebook is terrible. Yes, they're horrible. Um, you fuck with Nickelback. I probably did years ago. I don't listen to anything anymore. Why do I support Trump? Okay, so the if you saw the Epstein files come out yesterday, if come to find out that everything I've been listening to is false. He actually called the cops on Epstein in 2006 to set up to help stop all of these pedophiles, and come to find out all the pedophiles were telling us that Trump was the bad man when we were just being lied to. We were just being lied to, and my fault not looking into it enough. Sorry, Trump. I support you now, 100%. Take care of it. Everything's doing better. My 401k's up. Investments are doing good. My family's doing good. My liberal family's doing good. My conservative family's doing good. Everybody's doing better. Some people are mad, but they're not doing bad. Ooh, that rhymes. What's your take on India? Their approach to buying Russian oil. I think they should do what's best for their country, people, and the people that they support. And whether that's buying, I mean, I think they should be buying Venezuelan oil. Help the Venezuelans out. The Venezuelans were getting a short end of the stick. They were being oppressed, actual oppression. And now they can all benefit from the sale of their oil. So you've got a place for the past 30 to 40 years has been under a dictator. They've been being crushed, and now they can benefit from the sale of their oil. So every country should be buying Venezuelan oil to help the Venezuelan people out. I am the definition of crap. I used to support Trump, but not much these days. I think Trump has dementia. He has buddies with Epstein. I'm living the good life. What's your take on India and their approach to buying? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Andy supports the consumerism. Dropping this soap. I'm dead ass. Told high-end customer that he's so fucking bad. It's easier to build him a new custom solution than to fix the AI chuckle. Yes, right. And this is the thing. Think about this. If AI causes a problem that humans have to fix, these humans that benefit from that are going to push AI. AI writes crap code. So then these people get paid to fix it. So the AI gets paid to write the crap code, but these people get paid to fix it. They're working both sides of the fence. These people are still benefiting. Support most crew members. Don't collect toy trains. Are cut for handling. Yes, I agree that. Yes, absolutely. And Trump didn't Trump try to buy Greenland? Yes, I think he is buying it. But then again, so the people from Greenland, the Danes, the people from Denmark, the Denmark government's getting $500 billion in gold, and every person over the age of 16 is getting $100,000 US. So, I mean, with no bloodshed, I think that's the best thing to do. What should we just leave them alone? Should America follow privateering? Privateering. Yeah, I think it's a bad idea. I don't like people dying. What up, Noms? So do you support the capture of the previous? Yes. AI scammers, deep fakes. Yeah, it's all horrible shit. ChatGPT would find you a bucket of steam. AI writes crap code today, but fires. Right. But how do you benefit from it now? I agree, Provac. Yeah, privateering is the word. Yeah, privateering. We need the puffins. What up, Foxy? I'm Mago, and I'm smart individualism. Tool. I was born in 1976. 1876, I can't read. No bloodshed should be the norm between allies deals. Right. Right. Okay, listen. Who dies less? People that die or people that don't die? So if you can do anything with less death, do it that way. And if people can benefit from it and benefit their families, you got a bunch of people in America saying, oh, Greenland, Greenland, Greenland. A bunch of people in Denmark saying, oh, Greenland, Greenland, Greenland. But Greenland's not saying, oh, Greenland, Greenland, Greenland. They're saying, yeah, we're poor and cold. You can come here and start all this company. So yeah, I disagree with most people's outlook on most things. The future is uncertain. Because of AI, either hype or grant potential. Right. And people can make money on that in either way. So some people get upset about it and they'll have signs printed that say screw AI, but the sign company's making money on that. The people with shirts that say screw AI, those people making those shirts, usually probably making the design with AI, are making money on that. People are playing both sides of the fence and people don't understand it. People don't realize that it's not Democrat and Republican. It's haves and have-nots. Trick question. Tesla buys me 100 years apart. Tesla me 100 years apart. What? Why was that? The privateering only cost 10% to the government. I'm just a peasant. Thanks for the word, Craig. Let Greenland make Greenland great again. Everyone make good. Right. Why can't right? And Greenland's about to get a bunch of money. And now this is the problem with Trump. Okay, Trump says things like we're going to take Greenland's 52nd state. I think he's just saying that to sell a bunch of Greenland 52nd state shirts. And he's going to get Greenland, and Greenland's going to be Greenland, just like Venezuela is Venezuela. But it's not going to be somebody that doesn't have American interests in heart. And as an American that can help me and my family and not hurt anybody, then that's good. But people want to hurt themselves by being anti-Trump. Like they'll lose their lives in the street being anti-Trump for no reason besides other people in the news told him to be anti-Trump. They lied. I'm tired of being lied to. Rockstar Games was so effed up where there was a glitch in GTA 5. When you launched the game, it would run the same sequence 3 million times. Eventually, PCSD would kill itself when you play the game. It's talent. It's talent. Its talent is computer talent. Right, Eddie. We're throwing into Disney. Yeah, throw in Disney. Give it to them. Greenland went to be independent around 5-6% support. Greenland wanted to be independent, only about 5-6% support. The idea of becoming, according to the public media. Right. And we say it's about 95%. It's propaganda, and that's a problem. We've got to find a better way to distill the propaganda. Like this is a big problem because you're going to have a bunch of anti-America, don't take Greenland marches in the streets, and they're going to make a bunch of money off that, and they're going to have a let's get Greenland marches in the streets here. It's playing both sides of the fence. It's going to happen. How do you make it happen without nobody dying and people benefiting from it? I watched. The problem is we have so many people that are emotional. No, because no. That it's the immature. It's not going to happen. How can you do it the safest way possible? Trump is threatening to close the Detroit Bridge to Canada. Like, what the hell? Is he? Trump known lifelong interviewed. Yes, right. People know what it's not nothing. The problem is when you have media recreating what Trump is, even though we have not just what he said, but his actions of the past 70 years documented. And I'm tired of being lied to. TPUSA, I'm very successful. Dude, they just did the best thing for themselves as a company. Listen, to the Super Bowl, you have a bunch of people watching sports, and then they're going to put an ad in your face. So people that aren't there to see ads got an ad there that they have to watch. It's there, right? They have to watch it. But these people that directly went to TPUSA for a different product, that's so valuable to advertisers. People went to seek out this. And not only that, but the top 5 people on Apple downloads during that Kid Rock was number one, Bad Bunny was number two, and then the last three were the other three bands that played during TPUSA. They all got rich, and TPUSA just solidified itself as a brand, as like an NFL sized brand, because now all the marketers will go to TPUSA because it's guaranteed. They got 25 million views in 12 hours. Yeah, so don't hate everybody because of who they are. Learn how to benefit off of this stuff, or you'll be left behind. You'll be poor in the streets with a sign saying, I hate Trump because orange, or whatever. Melania's documents gave me cancer. Documentary. Disney went left. Yeah, absolutely. 95% of that's completely false and fake media coverage. We hear Greenlanders complain about becoming American all the time. Right. But are they going to become American, or are they going to become Greenlanders? This is the thing. It depends what channel you watch here at America's Advertising. Hear them support the idea. It depends who you watch, who you listen to. Listen, if you listen to Fox here, you'll hear different. If you listen to CNN here, you'll hear what you're hearing. It's the thing. You don't know what's true. So they're going to, if it's going to be taken, how do you do it? Do you get a bunch of you're of battle age? They strap some guns on you and send you to Denmark to die over this? This is what I'm talking about. Priorities, man. If it's determined by the United States government that it's best for the security of everybody, liberal and conservative and non-political in America, and it doesn't hurt the Danes. You know, I see both sides. I just don't want the wars over it, because there will be people that want to light things on fire because they're warmongers. They get paid for every bullet fired. Crazy thing is, Disney owns a ton of radio stations. Sure, what qualifies you to have an opinion, Mr. Toucan, man? What qualifies you? Same thing qualifies you, I guess. The Gordie Howe Bridge, my favorite country singers. Amen. Yeah, they did very good. When will Melania learn English? She hasn't lived in this stage for over 25 years. She's still working on it. The world is on fire. In my opinion, it was all terrible. Yeah. Do you agree with Trump banning abortions? He doesn't want to ban abortions. I think this is a problem too. The reason the Republicans don't align completely with the non-MAGA Republicans, is because they want to ban abortions and Trump doesn't want to. But all of the people on the left say that Trump wants to ban abortions, and it's just not true. I'm tired of being lied to. I'm so tired of being lied to. And then like, we could have a very good relationship, but because if you've been lied to about something and I've been lied to about something, and we both watched a bunch of liars, then when we come to communicate, we have two different lies to tell each other, and we're going to not be friends because we're both telling each other lies that we've told other people. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's why a lot of the Christian right doesn't. They argue about Trump's views on abortion. What does Google tell you if you ask those Gleaners when to become American? Do Greenlanders want to become American? Okay, 85% of residents reject joining the U.S. Okay, so 85% of the residents reject joining the United States. Polls from early 26, they remain I dropped my phone. Percent residents reject joining the U.S. government, preferring remaining a self-governing territory within the Kingdom of Denmark. Okay, now this is from Al Jazeera. All right, and this is a big problem. Okay, not that it's Al Jazeera. Okay, but if we go look at somebody else, somebody else. Okay, let's see what anything else says. Okay, Al Jazeera says we do not want them. All right. Okay, let's see what else we can find. Okay, let's see what this is. January 14th, New York Times. Let's see what this has to say. Pipliak Lunge knows that indigenous people have been treated in the United States. She's well aware of the holes in the country's healthcare system and its yawning economic inequality. Greenland's top officials. Okay, we're not talking about the top officials. Hold on, let me see. Let's see if we can find out what the actual, if there's anything what the people say, not the top officials, because obviously they don't want to lose their role. Okay, let's see. Logic in the chaos.
Is there logic in the chaos? International chaos. Greenland never ends. To try to clear it up a bit. What's behind it? Greenland was large. Zeus's 20. He made it. Jaws 2019 made Trump aware of the potential. Greenland interest. Okay. Okay. All over the place. Okay. So the Arctic area is huge, makes up 4% of the globe, includes the Arctic Ocean, which sells 6 times larger than the Mediterranean Sea, parts of the ocean. Therefore, Russia can operate freely, China can operate freely. Okay, so here lies the problem. But let's see. Let's try to find the people from Greenland. I'm open about it. Actual Greenlanders' response to not being Denmark. Forget it. Damn, I can't talk. Actual Greenlanders' response to leaving Denmark. So what I think, and we'll see. Okay, so here you go. This now. So now Greenland officially seeks eventual independence from Denmark, with 80% supporting the notion. Wikipedia and 4 others. So do you see what I'm saying? Depending on how you frame the question and how you ask, you'll get what you want to hear in a lot of things. You understand what I'm saying? So this says 80% want to leave, and the other one said 85% don't want to leave. We hear it every day. Like I said last time, Trump thinks. No, it made it clear that they want to be independent a lot of times. Okay, all right. It's so this says you're right. This is my point. My point is you can't argue over propaganda, because Al Jazeera goes and asks a bunch of Danish officials in Greenland, do they want to be free? And they say no. And then this people go and ask a bunch of different people, and they ask 100 people, but they didn't ask everybody in Greenland. This is my whole point. None of this arguing, meaning you, it's going to affect our relationship, or even if it affects our relationship, but it doesn't matter. How does it happen without people dying, right? So here it is, the long-term goal. Let's see what this says. Okay. Here. Greenland officially independence from Greenland, with 80% supporting the notion, facing economic 4.3 billion. Okay, 610 million annual grant. While many favor long-term secession, a 2026 crisis saw leaders rejecting U.S. annexation to the Danish control of India. The long-term goal, independence, is a long-term goal of the draft constitution presented in 2023, but it was not favored in the short term due to economic risks. Okay. 61% of Greenlanders oppose independence if results lower a standard of living. Okay, so here's another thing. So if they ask Greenlanders, do you want to be part of America? And they say yes or no, but it doesn't say that. It says, if there's economic prosperity, will you be part of America? And 80% say yes. And then another question says, if there's economic risk, do you want to become part of America? And 85% say no. So it depends who you ask and how the questions are asked. So we're not going to get those unless we ourselves go and ask those questions. So regardless of the propaganda we get, these things are going to happen, right? I don't want anybody to get hurt. What up, Katie? Please listen. This is Marty Robbins. Marty Robbins. That sounds familiar too. Marty Robbins.
Robbins around Sharpsburg. Here you go.
Marty Robbins. Oh, dude. This guy's got a freaking stash. Bam. Oh, he's still online. Great publicity. So sent by a fan. Oh, awesome. But you also got to understand that even though we should listen to Greenland, also listen to the Danish people. We have to pay taxes towards supporting Greenland. Brother, I understand. But if you guys are getting your money back, the taxes you paid, $500 billion going to the Danish people. Do you understand? I don't know how to explain it any clearer. Denmark's getting paid $500 billion for their investments, and there's no army in Greenland, anything like that. There's not. You got right. At least that's what I've been told. There's You guys don't have thousands of people protecting Greenland and whatnot, and from Denmark. So you guys are getting paid all this money to take care of your economic responsibilities that you can. So you guys will get that back. Now that would be up to you to go to your government and say, I want my piece of that I paid back. It's not only money either. It's all about culture and history. Brother, I just want people to die. Like me, I just don't want people to die. I don't want people to die over this because the people in Greenland don't. Here's the big point. We can agree that Denmark dropped the ball during World War II, right? We can agree. America picked up the ball and then gave Greenland back to Denmark. So if China or Russia decided to invade Greenland, would Denmark be able to protect Greenland from another threat? And I'm talking about the propaganda that's going on. That's what's going on over here. No. Long live Frank. USA never gave Greenland back to Denmark. Okay, my bad. Let's look it up. Did USA ever give Greenland back to Denmark? Okay, Greenland has been under Danish control. Okay, the 1917 agreement recognized Danish sovereignty over the Greenland in exchange for purchasing the Danish West Indies. World War II. Following the Nazi invasion of the Greenmark, the U.S. did not take over. Instead, it signed a defense agreement with 1941 Danish ambassador. Okay, there you go. So my bad. So the Nazis took over Greenland. The U.S. took over to kill the Nazis and then signed an agreement with Denmark saying we'll protect Greenland. My bad. So we never took it over and put our flag in the dirt, but we did knock the Nazis out of Greenland, and then we said, hey, you guys can't do this on your own, so we'll sign a Harry Truman offered to buy Greenland for $100 million in gold and was rejected by Denmark. The Danish ambassador to the U.S. protected Greenland from the German occupation and established a military base. So that's what happened is that when I guess instead of just planting our flag in Greenland, we said, hey guys, we just took us back for you guys. Let's figure out a way that we can set up bases here to help you protect. Okay, all right, fine. So same thing, right? They helped protect it because they were all NATO. NATO didn't exist back then. When was NATO codified? Yeah. NATO wasn't established until 1949. So yeah. Right. They help protect. Right. Yeah. Right. Sure. Helping allies, but it wasn't NATO. Right. It wasn't NATO. But regardless of it all, if the president of the United States, regardless of who it is, says we're taking Greenland, and Denmark says no, we don't want you to take Greenland, how does that end? Does it end in somebody saying, nah, we'll let you guys keep it? Or does it end up saying, okay, well, let's put more army bases on Greenland. Don't let you guys have our enemies on Greenland. And I think that's the problem. Is now that there is NATO, you have non-NATO countries in Greenland. My bad. No, not NATO, but allies still. Yeah, I understand that. Absolutely. And there's a lot of info on everything. Absolutely. So my bad. I didn't do enough research into that. But the point being, if pick any other country decides they want Greenland, what's going to happen? Who says that they're going to protect without people dying? I think in order to keep everybody safe and not dead, pay them a lot of money and make them money. If these people from Greenland can get better way of life, and it can benefit the entirety of the world, just because I understand the ego part of it, not to lose 22% nation, most useless invention, shake weight. It should end the relation teamwork and not fighting about ownership because USA want minerals and micros. Yes, sure, right. But you do too. Your RAM is 200% too, right? Yeah, and Denmark could be mining these minerals and creating large companies and making trillions of dollars, and they're not doing it. Yeah, we have to understand that, right? No. No, right, agreed, right. Just because we know the reason doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Okay, you see the shake weight episode on South Park? Okay. Have you seen the shake weight episode on South Park? Yeah. I think we have everybody complaining, get rid of Trump because of the economy, and he's like, we can fix the economy not only for the United States but the whole world. And people are like, no. I'm like, I don't know. I just don't get it. All right, where are we at? 4:06. All right, I'm gonna take a half-hour break. I need to take a shower. I went to Space Cowboy's house today. I still stink. So I'm gonna get cleaned up here, eat some din din, and then I'll be back. All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all being here. Love you, ND. See you guys in a little bit. Bye. Listen, I have never been agreeing. I have no personal relationship. Right. Me neither. And this is the one point I want to make before we go. We're not going to invade Greenland. No, it's going to be, we have this place sitting here, people that could be very wealthy and could help the whole world lower prices on everything if these moves are made. And this is what I would like to believe is happening. Yes, people are going to get really rich, but a lot of people are going to get really rich. The Greenlanders are going to get really rich. They're going to get a percentage out of everything that comes out of the ground. They're going to get mineral rights, but they're not. No, for the past 100 years, nobody's done anything with the minerals. So I just think if it's got to happen, it would be good for everybody, and to make it a more habitable place and an interesting place. There's still, I would like to believe that I understand Trump's an asshole and he says stupid things. I don't think he's going to invade Greenland. I don't think that there's going to be a McDonald's in the center of Greenland unless somebody from Greenland gets a McDonald's sponsorship or gets a McDonald's, but it's not going to be that. There's going to be a Greenlander running Greenland, and then it's going to help the people from Greenland. Right, hopefully not. All right, everybody, I love you guys. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye.